Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me import and wear tie up tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Me fight, walk, folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo defender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop down a plaza. With this one majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Friday. JD Advanced, the most legendary meme ever made. I see you laughing, man, talking about your reverse psychology. I see you. And I didn't even, you didn't have to send a super chat for me to acknowledge you. I acknowledged you first. You didn't even send a super chat. How's that? How's that? But you know who did send a super chat? Kate Banfield for 50. Says, I call shotgun, I mean Sabaton. That means we will end with Sabaton today. Just for you. Hail to you, Kate. Hope you're doing well. Jared the American says, missed yesterday's CobraCast as I was sleeping, but I caught up with a lot. Got to see your JD Advanced hair. Also, your gay, Jeremy. Hail 199. Good to see you here, brother. Steel Leg of History says, I can't thank you all enough for the support and the kindness. You have all been kind to me, and I can never thank you enough. Be blessed. Hey, man, right back at you, brother. Right back at you. Popping fresh for our 199. Thank you. Alex Aerocave says, the best gay on YouTube. Get his new merch. That's right. You can get the merch right there. Right there. The link is in the pinned post from Lady Aaron D. It all ends on November 7th. So if you want it, go get it. And if you don't want it, then fuck it, right? Let's see here. Little Orphan Funkhauser says, now that Tua is cooked, who you going to pull for? Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Jalen Hurts, or Milroe? Also, your favorite Bama, or also you're my favorite Mossad agent from Bama. Yeah, Tua's done. I don't see how he can recover from where he's at. I'm liking Ty Simpson, who's the current starting quarterback at Alabama right now. We'll see how he progresses, but I pull for any of the Bama quarterbacks, but I'm still sticking with the Dolphins, with the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, it's really bad. Tua's had way too many concussions, man. Vault 95 says, we need to rip us in to make a JD Advanced statue. Little Jim Taylor says, Canada fucked around and found out today, trying to influence the Supreme Court using President Reagan as an ad. Did you see the shooting at the Coast Guard base? I didn't hear about the shooting at a Coast Guard base, but I did see about Canada FAFO. I did see that. And yeah, so we got a few things to talk about. One thing I want to jump right into, which is one of the funniest stories, MSNBC having a tough time. MSNBC says President Trump will start using the military to kill any person he wants in any location inside the United States of America. This is probably because of this comment right here from President Trump.
Mr. President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. Okay?
They're going to be like dead. They're going to be like dead. Which is one of the greatest statements that Trump has ever made. I loved it. But let's hear what MSNBC has to say right now about this.
On Helene's point about the possibility here of war crimes. I mean, even the fact that there are officers who are having that conversation tells you about the 5-alarm fire that we are in, because the Trump administration claims they can lawfully kill people simply because they are suspected of drug trafficking like enemy troops instead of arresting them for prosecution. Does that match your understanding of the law?
Typical MSNBC, worried about the rights of criminals that are bringing drugs into our country. That's your number one focus. My goodness, dude.
No, not American law and not international treaties to which we are a signatory. Basically, the president, and I want to kind of foot stomp behind Paul here about a plan. The American president has said, I can point the U.S. military any place I want and kill anyone I want. That eventually is going to become a principle in the domestic use of the military.
Yes.
He is acclimating people to the notion that the military is his private army, unconstrained by law, unconstrained by norms, unconstrained by American traditions. And
you mean the same military that he doesn't use to go to endless wars like every president before him? Every president before him got us involved in endless wars. Trump goes out of his way to not only keep us out of wars, but goes out of his way to end wars. And these idiots are fear-mongering, making up shit about him.
That, I don't really think this has anything to do with drugs. I mean, sometimes I wonder how far he's going to go to stop the release of the Epstein files and how many distractions he's going to throw at us.
Keeping drugs out of the United States is a distraction for the Epstein files. I wonder if this guy read like all those tens of thousands of documents that were released recently about the Epstein files from the Trump administration. Thousands of files that were released. It's interesting how the people that were crying about wanting the release of the Epstein files, none of them read any of those documents. None of them discussed any of those tens of thousands of files that the Trump administration released. It's interesting, isn't it? They say how much they want the Epstein files to release, and yet the Trump administration releases like tens of thousands, and none of them read any of them. It's almost like they never cared about it in the first place.
But this is about getting out from under his already dismal record, his record low approval ratings, his struggling with a scandal. And he is now saying, I am going to acclimate the American public to the use of military force anywhere I deem it appropriate under any circumstances. And I may well, the president may be thinking, I may well have us in a war by the time the elections roll around, which will enable me to say any opposition to me and my party is basically treason and unpatriotic.
What?
Tom Nichols, your brain and my brain have gone to the exact same place.
What? TDS hitting another level of insanity. And there you have it. Record low approval ratings, getting us involved in another war, Epstein, yada, yada, yada. Did I have something happen on my stream? My goodness, what a disaster. Are we good now? Is it acting up? Is my stream acting up? Trying to see what the chat says first before I continue to make sure we're not having problems. We call that projection around here. I agree completely. Let them keep talking. It stuttered. Okay. Good now? Okay. Let's see here. Harley Dave for 10 says, hey, Jeremy, I don't like giving you money, but if I have to give you money, I may as well agree with Laughing Man. And as always, Sydney Sweeney. Look at that. He doesn't like giving me money. This is the first super chat Harley Dave has ever sent to CobraCast. Can you believe that? I appreciate it, Harley Dave. First super chat Harley Dave has ever sent me. It means a lot. It means a lot. I am happy that I finally earned a super chat from Harley Dave. You guys welcome Harley Dave as one of the super chatters, CobraCast 199. It's awesome. Finally get to see him support the stream. Hail to you, brother. Thank you, Harley. Vault 95 says gaming stream tonight. It's been almost 2 months. Unfortunately, it will not be happening tonight. But technically, well, okay, I did do a gaming stream on Wednesday, but it wasn't on that channel. So stuttering like Biden. It's about time, Harley Dave. See, even the chat's recognizing. Oracle of Doom says, hail Cobra Commander, hail the 199. God bless USA. Christ is King. Justin says, hey, Jeremy, missed yesterday's CobraCast. Probably won't ever watch it. Thought I'd let you know. Cheers. I appreciate it, man. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, did you see the CNN article claiming to have an interview with one of those fishermen who survived a Hellfire missile in their rowboat? No joke. I did not see that one. I did not. Nandor says, hail Unit 199. Sorry I missed the stream yesterday. So here's my tax for that. Tonight is a drinking night. So cheers to who drinks. To those who don't, enjoy your night as well. Hail to you, brother. Be safe. That's all that matters. Little Jim Taylor says, the shooting had a video, no death, just 2 injured. Harley Davis says, first time super chat. Look at that. We got Harley Dave for the first time ever, chat. Make sure you're very nice to him, okay? Very nice. I don't think he's ready for the snake pit. I really don't. But we'll see. But yeah, I mean, here, getting back to this, I mean, the fact that they're making up lies about President Trump, and it's all based on this. Again, President Trump talking about drug dealers, talking about narco terrorists. Like, these people are crazy. This is what I voted for. This is exactly what I voted for.
Mr. President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead.
They're going to be like dead. And here, right here, I legit have not watched this clip yet. Okay. But, let me see if I can find it. Where did it go? I lost it. So there was another clip I was wanting to show you guys, but I can't find it right now. So I guess we'll, right here. Okay. TDS hitting a new level. Hairstylist blames Trump getting elected for why her business is failing. Okay, so here's a hairstylist blaming Trump.
What's going on?
So I am actually kind of in debt because of the past election.
Wait.
I know it's kind of crazy.
Well, at least you acknowledge it. What the do you possibly mean? I don't know anything that happened the day of election or inauguration that was like all of a sudden, here's a loan. The federal government, please have it.
So most of my clients are affected by how the economy works, including
Well, that's everything in the service-based economy.
Including my boyfriend's work. He's in construction.
Oh, you have a boyfriend?
I do.
Okay.
And his income has been affected drastically. And
Or is he in construction?
What do you mean? Like,
What kind of construction does he do?
he mostly does flooring, but
And what's
he's
his job?
done whole home remodels. He does some handyman.
Someone said Gary's wife lost her business because of Biden. That is not, well, that's true, but it's more so Gavin Newsom than Biden. But there's an objective way to look at that to prove that to be true. Gavin Newsom shut down the entire economy of California while Gavin Newsom went out to restaurants all over the COVID bullshit. So it's a slightly different situation. This is completely nonsense right here.
And work here and there. But a lot of that work has slowed down as well.
But we're on the same trajectory and trend that we have been in terms of job numbers added on a monthly basis.
Right.
Like if we would be almost in a very similar economic thing we're in right now if Kamala was president as well, would you be saying the exact same thing? That because of the last election, you have lost money?
Probably.
So you blame everyone but yourselves.
No.
And you can blame economic conditions. I bet people do less home renovations when things aren't as juicy. It's people borrow for home renovations. Interest rates are still high, even though they've come down a little.
And so, like, one thing that happened too with, like, so I live in Florida. So the current, like, the state level government is far more impactful in these situations. So you can, like, I've had my criticisms of Ron DeSantis, and we did shut down here in Florida for a very, very short period of time. But I talk to people from around the country, especially in blue states and blue cities. I couldn't believe the shit that they were saying to me, because I felt like we were living in different, like, galaxies. Because I'm like, wait, you can't go out and do anything. Like, you can't go to the gym. You can't go to the store. Like, you couldn't do anything. I actually traveled to, we went to New York during a lot of that. I don't think it was at the height of it. And there was a ton of places where you couldn't even enter without, like, having a jab card or some bullshit like that. It was fucking wild.
Even still, people are less likely to invest in renovating a house when interest rates are high.
I've looked at potentially moving out of the country, and it's just never feasible.
What does that make sense for? In what way?
It's got to be better somewhere else. It has to be better anywhere else.
Anywhere else?
Anywhere else.
So you'll be moving to sub-Saharan Africa?
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
No, probably not. It's
you
too hot.
You said anywhere.
Almost anywhere.
Oh, okay. Pushing the goalpost a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Okay, where's it better for you, salon owner, business owner?
Salon owner, business owner, I don't know. I haven't.
I'll tell you an economy that's doing pretty well in Europe. I'm sure you really like Europe. Poland's increasing. Poland's doing very well. But you know what would happen if you employed other people in the salon? You know what happens? If you want to fire them, oftentimes depending on what contracts you're on, if you want to fire them, you still have to actually keep them on for about a month, 2 months, depending on time.
Well, luckily my boyfriend doesn't agree with that plan.
Your boyfriend, who you're definitely not going to get married to and are not connected to in any way whatsoever. And I'm not jerking off the president either. I don't give a fuck about that. But when you're going and you're blaming something on something like that instead of actual, objective information.
It's the thing that makes it puts all of it together.
It's a cope. What about you and your business? You said you're not doing well.
No.
And that's the last election?
Yes, it's gotten much worse the last election. Hair. People do still have hair, but the grocery prices, at least where I'm at, have gone up drastically, and they are having to now choose going to the grocery store, getting their hair done on a regular basis.
Okay, depends on the food item specifically. You know the food item that went up the highest in cost this year so far?
I don't.
Coffee.
Probably.
Why?
I don't know. I can't drink it.
But you're trying to blame everything on can't drink coffee?
No.
Is your body... Why?
I have heart problems. I can't have caffeine.
Don't do that. Okay. Yeah.
We avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, this is the definition of a cope right here. Like, you can't actually point to anything. This is you just blaming someone else for your own failures. That's what this is. That's all it is. Is this the turnaround girl? I don't think so, but she may have talents or assets that she is not utilizing. I mean, I guess you guys can be the judge, and we can look and see if do you guys know about turnarounds? Are you aware of turnarounds? Are you aware of turnarounds?
Well, Whether you call them shutdowns, outages, or turnarounds, they'll all produce the same results. Turnarounds are scheduled events where an entire process unit of an industrial plant is taken off-stream for a scheduled period of time to perform maintenance, inspections, and testing. Once the plant is off-stream, the downtime presents an opportunity. That can be used to perform debottlenecking, capital project improvements, revamps, and catalyst regeneration projects. Turnarounds allow for necessary maintenance and the upkeep of operating units. Turnarounds are needed to maintain safe and efficient.
I just want to, for the record, I didn't even grift this video. I think I deserve credit for that. I didn't even grift the video.
Operations. If you think of an oil refinery the way you think of your car, you'll realize there are many types of routine maintenance you need to perform on your car to keep it running efficiently. You should get your oil changed every 3,000 miles. You should get new tires every 50,000 miles or so, depending on the brand. Then there's your power steering fluid, your transmission, air filters, gaskets, and that's just routine maintenance. What if something malfunctions?
You guys know for a fact that if this was a real situation, there would be like 20 cars lined up, pulling over with dudes being like, "Hey, do you need some help? I'm kind of a mechanic myself." That's exactly what would have happened.
Let's say you drive your car for work every day, and that's how you make your living. When the time comes to make these repairs and maintenance services, not only will you be spending money, but you will be losing money since you're not able to use your car for work. Wouldn't this make you want to carefully plan what repairs you would make so that you could spend only...
Okay, so that's the turnaround video, guys. I'm sure you guys enjoyed that, but we have to continue to move on to other things. But no, I don't believe that that's the turnaround girl. I don't believe that's her, okay? I don't believe that's her. Harley Dave for 20 says, first time super chat. I've never done this before. Hail the 199. This is for Gary's, what is this? I don't know what you're trying to say there. Kidnapping tax? The hell is that supposed to mean, Harley Dave? So first of all, Harley, the rule here is that if you're a first time super chatter, you have to send a 50. Like, I don't know if I've made that clear already or not, but like right here, Nandy, first time super chatter for the turnaround video or turnaround educational video, should have helped more if she was speaking though. That is true. Thank you, Nandy. First time super chatter. But thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Dark Wars Rises says, those are a couple of great turnarounds. Thank you. By the way, I got to listen. We might as well go ahead and show it. One of the new legendary memers has a new meme. I guess, I don't know if you how you say his name. Is it Zerius? Is that how you say it? So I've showed his stuff before. He's got a legendary one now. Okay. We're just going to play it. Okay. So, I know what you guys are going to do the moment that I show you the screen. I know, like, be nice, chat. Okay. Harley Day for 50 says, I'll do better. Here we go. Here we go.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps
That is absolute gold, and that's who did it right there. Me, mods, if you can drop a link to his Twitter account. His account's been blowing up lately. He's been crushing it, so give him a follow. It's pretty awesome. Good stuff indeed. All right, so moving on, because we have plenty more to discuss as always. But yeah, that was just too good, man. That was way too good. Couldn't pass up on that one. Where is it at? Okay, before we get to that, let me catch up on Super Chats really quick. Kate says, heard a rumor Margarita Island off of Venezuela trains Hezbollah and Hamas. Maybe our commander-in-chief locked down the nation security leaks. Maybe. We shall see. Thank you, Kate. Bebop says, kind of shy first-time super chatter. We know that's not true, but we're going to roll with the meme anyway. Thank you for your first-time super chat, Bebop. I know you're very shy. I know you are. The man bro dude says, say a gamer word and I'll send a proper 199. Do it you won't, pussy. All right, faggot. Drop that money. Let's go. All right, send it. Harley Dave says, I'll do better for 50. Man, bro dude, you better do it. You better do it. Better be a man of your word. Harley Dave says, why does YouTube hate me? Or maybe they just hate you. Barry is gay. I didn't even think about it. So I was like, fuck it. I need that money. I said it on a gaming stream not too long ago. I was like, oops. Harley Day for the 50. Thank you. Lady Aaron D's yelling at me now. So, yeah, I can't remember. What were we playing? We're playing Fortnite. I think we're playing Fortnite. And I got so mad at somebody, dude. I got so mad at somebody and I just dropped it. And I was like, crap, I didn't mean to do that. Harley Dave says, first time, happy Jessica for a $20. The man bro dude for a proper 199 says, damn, that was worth it. Here you go, brother. Ha ha ha. Let's go. Thank you so much, man bro dude. Hail to you, brother. You know what? I think you guys deserved it. There you go. All right. We'll celebrate with some Sydney Sweeney. All right. Wait a minute. Whoa. Harley Dave, somebody's mad at you in the chat. Harley Dave, where did it go? Somebody's mad at you. Oh, he at least you responded because they said Harley Dave's an idiot. So somebody's mad at you in the chat. I can't find it now. So somebody says, now I respect you. Well, trust me, I've been saying that word for a lot longer than just today. It's just the first time I have actively said it on stream. I've accidentally said it on stream before. Let me show you this really quick. So this is a little bit of a streamer drama, but it's necessary so you can understand where it is kind of coming from. Let's see. Look at this right here. It's interesting. I want you to get the context here of what I'm going to show you. Okay. So right here, this is a streamer named Mizkif. Okay. I don't know much about Mizkif other than all of these left-wing streamers kind of eat each other alive. It's just what they do. And so this guy right here is crying about another streamer, Ludwig, who's a fence rider. Okay. Now there's context here to why I want you to see this video. Okay. So let's watch what he's crying about first of all.
Hey, what's up? It's Mizkiff, and I want to show you a quick video.
I made a video, got a fuck ton of views, has 98.7% like ratio, called Twitch is Collapsing. And this was about Trainwreck's bombshell tweet, now totally debunked, about Mizkiff and I forget whoever else was involved. And I made a video that was like incredibly damaging. It was just not at all based in fact, because you don't have fact when you make a video based off of tweets that are completely made up. These videos have no research to them. These videos are aggregates of what is available to see online.
In September 2022, I was accused of covering up sexual assault by Trainwreck TV.
And just listen to this guy whine, okay? Listen to him whine.
This resulted in the biggest drama that has ever happened in the history of Twitch, where dozens of the top content creators attacked me for weeks, saying that I covered up sexual assault and I deserved to be banned. Ludwig was one of those content creators who made a video titled Twitch is Collapsing with over 3 million views. This video told people that I was the only one involved in this whole thing, and I orchestrated basically a cover-up.
So poor Mizkiff, okay? We all feel sorry for poor Mizkiff. Oh gosh, it's so terrible. Can I show you what Mizkiff said about Charlie Kirk when he was shot? This was when Charlie Kirk was shot. This is what Mizkiff said about Charlie Kirk.
That was traumatic.
Oh my God, my heart.
No, his neck.
No, Miz, that's so funny.
What? He's a right-wing political guy. They find that stuff funny all the time.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Oh my God. What a shot. Holy crap.
Miz.
Celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk right there. Okay. Also right here.
I think I've been only having base takes over the past few months.
What's the take you're most proud of?
I think...
What do you think of Charlie Kirk's death?
I think that Charlie Kirk's death was definitely a death, for sure. It definitely happened. I saw the video. I saw the extended version of that video. He's definitely dead.
This is why his song's going out of business.
It's because my take's right there.
They need to come here for the truth.
Hey, it's true, chat. He actually died. I straight up watched the video. He actually died. I'm not even kidding you. He's dead. It's not fake. It's actually real. He's dead.
I thought this has been a good start to the
Shall
stream.
we begin drinking the milk?
Yeah, do you want to drink some milk?
Oh, actually, Victor is filling it up.
Am I getting banned for that take? But yeah, I'm glad he's dead. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm kidding. Am I? I don't. No, I'm just kidding. Are you kidding? You're kidding, right? Is this a dream of yours?
Alex,
is he dead?
Give him another one. Give us another one of your jokes, quick. Something that could possibly be worse.
I have a plan to just tweet in like 6 months from now, Charlie Kirk is dead.
Chat, help! Somebody help us!
Yeah, so this is the guy who is trying to basically make you feel bad for him and sorry for him right here in this video. And it's always, when I saw this video, I didn't care because I'm like, I don't care about this guy. I've never watched him a day in my life. But then I was like, wait a minute. You're actually like trying to play a victim. And I recall when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I recall you joking about Charlie Kirk's assassination. And that's where I was like, you know, I those that preach the loudest have the most to hide every single time. Every single time. So it never fails. These left-wing streamers will eat each other alive. They will cancel each other. Then they will play the victim. Then it takes 2 seconds to find some horrific thing that they said about someone else, celebrating the assassination of someone because they disagreed with them politically. It's a huge problem. But yeah, just wanted to show that clip. We got a police chase live right now. Are you kidding me? Hang on. I didn't get a notification from my Police Chase Live channel. Let's see here. I'm not seeing anything. What channel is it on? Police Chase? Okay, here we go. Is this live?
This is a residential area. There's a school. He's just passing what looks like an elementary school. He's got 4 units behind him. So this is wide streets. Not a lot of people out because it's a neighborhood at night. They're coming up here to Roscoe. And it looks like, yeah, so he just drove in a big circle just now, and he's kind of back to where he was just moments ago. There he is. He's driving a little bit erratically there. Coming up to a red light and some traffic. Looks like he's going to, so this is the intersection we were at moments ago where he turned left, and now he's coming back the opposite direction as he crosses through that intersection that had a red light.
You know, it's interesting to watch the black and whites. You say those are LAPD directly behind him. They seem to be staying really tight on him.
This is every day. Welcome to California.
They are relatively tight on him during this pursuit. Sometimes with a lot of the crazy driving, they will back off. All right, now he's getting back onto the 170, but he's going to be going southbound, I'm pretty sure here. So he's getting back onto the freeway. There's that on-ramp. He's going to end up on the 170 going south. We were just moments ago on the 170 going north. So there's a bit of traffic right now. You know, we're kind of post-rush hour, but the freeways in LA are never empty, right? So there's going to be traffic that he's going to have to deal with. And those LAPD units are also going to do their best to deal with that traffic as well. Hopefully the drivers are paying attention. They can see those LAPD units coming with their bright lights. They can see the night sun, and hopefully they'll get out of the way. But there you can see he's going above 80 miles an hour right now, almost 90 miles an hour. So that's pretty dangerous.
Extremely dangerous when you consider the want on this initially was driving under the influence. Now, as he comes up just a few more miles, he's got a couple of options. He can either take the 134 and head east or the 101 and head north, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, he's going to have options here soon. And then he can get on the 101. He can get on the 134. He's going to have decisions about where he wants to go. It'll be interesting to see if he stays in the area or if he does indeed kind of leave this area where he's kind of been, since
Thank you, Harley Dave. Hail to you, brother.
For the last 20-ish minutes, he's kind of been in this North Hollywood area. This is the farthest he's strayed from it, but he's headed back. He's headed back south now, so he's headed back to kind of where this pursuit began. We're dealing with a little bit of traffic up here from Burbank Airport because we're right near their airspace. So our shot's going to get a little bit long here, but we're going to keep an eye on this. But yeah, so he's got options. There's those LAPD. They're staying tight. They're staying close to this guy. We've seen in the past. Sometimes LAPD will let things go, but in my experience,
they're staying pretty aggressive tonight.
LAPD has been rather aggressive in stopping pursuits and getting those drivers. We've seen LAPD units on the freeway during pursuits pulling right up next to their suspect that they're pursuing, and I'm not sure what they're doing, if they're looking inside the car, if they're getting an idea of what's going on. But yeah, we've seen them pull up right next to those vehicles, and they're staying real tight on this. All right, we've got the green light to cross the Burbank airspace, so we're going to get a little bit closer here for you now.
Okay.
The fact that there are people still in the left lane when this is going, like, you should be looking in your mirrors at all time, and you should have already been moved over. Get the fuck out of the way. Dumbass drivers in the left lane. You should literally go to prison for, a minimum of 10 years if you're driving slow in the left lane. Like, you should go to prison for a minimum of 10 years just for driving slow in the left lane on the interstate. I support that. Trump, make it happen.
Freeways, and we'll see where he goes. We're going to stay with him.
Once again, if you're just now joining us, what we have right here is a police chase that's going on in the San Fernando Valley. Most of it has been on surface streets in the North Hollywood area, but as you can see, he's on the 170 right now. And Brian, the original want on this was driving under the influence, possible
Correct.
Drunk driver here. Do we know any other circumstances? Did they try to pull him over? Where did it happen?
Unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure where this happened. We know it did happen on the streets because this is LAPD. If it had been on the freeway, that would have been CHP initiating that. But we know that it started in North Hollywood on the streets somewhere there in North Hollywood. You can see this person. Oh, man, it looks like they're diving to get that off-ramp on Riverside. So he was on Riverside Drive earlier, so he's kind of staying in this area. He chose not to leave this North Hollywood area, not to hop over the hill and get into L.A. Looks like he's pushing through that intersection going left. That was a red light that he just went through. There's going to be a little bit more traffic here on the streets. There we go. This is a red light right here, and he's going past it right through that pursuit, right through that red light as officers continue to pursue.
Okay, it's hard to see.
He's going to run into traffic right
now?
here. He's going to have to run into traffic.
Or is he still on Riverside? There's sort of a weird area there where you can take a number of different surface streets. It looks like he's just getting on the freeway.
Yeah, so he's getting back on the freeway now. This is going to be 101, I believe. I believe he's going to be getting on the 101 south here. He did all that just to get right back on the freeway. You saw him driving around erratically. Oh, no, I think this is 101 north. Yeah, this is a 101 north, so he's now back on the 101 north. And we're going to see how long he stays here. I'm going to throw that speedometer up so we'll get an idea of the speed. There's not too much traffic. Right now, I'm looking out the window. 101 north is not too bad. The 101 south is
wholly different.
Yeah.
That's the opposite side you can see there. He's running speeds well over 70 miles an hour. Once again, this is the LAPD in pursuit of a possible DUI suspect. Do we know if they've called for the CHP, given the fact they really are and have been
This is live? Yeah, this is live.
Freeways for the last 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, I'm sure that I know that LAPD is going to be talking with CHP as he gets on and off the freeway. LAPD, whatever jurisdiction is pursuing, they usually have the option to hand off that pursuit or stick with it.
All right, he's up to 70.
LAPD has been sticking with this pursuit.
He's up to about 70 miles an hour now.
Anyone else, even though they've gone on the freeway and off the freeway multiple times. So that tells me that LAPD is pretty sure they want this person. They're confident that they will capture this person, and they're staying in this pursuit, not handing it off to CHP, and they're gonna stick with this until they can capture this guy.
Brian, I can't tell. He seems to be putting some distance between.
He's up to 95, 96 miles an hour. He's about to hit 100.
Behind him, is he picking up speed, or are they pulling back just a little bit?
Can you look at the speedometer, woman?
So he's going 90 plus right now. I just saw 96 a moment ago. So at those speeds, the officers, they're going to back off a little bit. They're going to need a little bit more time
Harley.
to react.
I'm trying.
When if he smashes on the brakes, if he collides with somebody, they're going to need more time to react going those speeds. So they're.
How do you want me to grift it, Harley? If he hits 100 miles an hour, we got to get a $100 super chat. Is that something like that, maybe? If he hits 100 miles an hour, we get a $100 super chat. How about that? He's at 80 right now. 85, 86, 87, 88, 90. Here we go. Oh, 90. Oh, he got up to 97.
On the 101, depending on, where exactly you are, how you want to call it. But north or west on the 101. Headed kind of deeper into the San Fernando Valley, and eventually kind of into if he stays on this track,
speedometer's broke now.
Kind of the West Hills area. So we'll see if he decides to just get on the freeway and
now
go.
It's broken.
Or
I bet he's in the 90s right now, but the speedometer's broken. Get the hell out of here. That's bullshit. We don't want anyone to get hurt, though, except for the criminal.
That far left lane all the way across to an exit very, very quickly. Now, has he, so he's past Van Nuys, so the next thing up here would be, and there he is, he's doing exactly what I said he was going to do. So he has an option here, what, the 405, or is he committed still to the 101?
I got you covered on the dollar super
chat. It's going to be in a minute. We're not quite there yet, but yeah, so exactly like you said, he just squeezed in between two cars right there, forcing that car on the right to move over or get hit. But yeah, we've seen him, just because he's in
I
that
don't
far
make the
left-hand
rules,
lane
laughing man. I don't make the
there.
rules.
We've seen him, dive dramatically across multiple lanes. So yeah, there you go. 405 freeways in about 1 mile.
Look
so
at
he's
these
going to make
idiots
decisions
in
there.
the left lane. What are you doing?
North, he can get on the 405 south. There's going to be options there. And the traffic is building. As I'm looking out ahead of me through the windshield of the helicopter, the traffic is building here on the 101
I know it.
as we approach the 405, which we know is always busy. That 405-101 interchange, almost always busy.
This traffic's busy.
Unless it's the middle of the night, there's always people
very
there.
busy.
So there you can see, looks like he's staying right. But again, that doesn't mean he's going to stay over there. The traffic on the left is building. Looks like he's staying on the right for right now, which is going to take him onto either service streets or the 405 north.
I'm trying to see if he's committed to Sepulveda there or the freeway. What is the typical protocol for LAPD officers at this point? Will they just let him run till he runs out of gas? Again, he's driving very erratically. They can't do a pit maneuver. Spike strips, a possibility here?
Yeah, so it's going to depend on the situations of the road. So there's way too many people, like you said, to do a pit maneuver. That would be a little too chaotic and risk, people getting injured, vehicles getting hit for them doing that. So what they would need is to do a spike strip. Usually they run a break. So they start thinking about where that car is going to be. They'll run a traffic break where the police officers stop the traffic. And
so if you're tuning in, this is live right now. We are currently watching this police chase. We hope no one is injured. This person apparently is a possible DUI suspect. This is in California. No shocker there. I'm not familiar with California per se, but
decide. Not sure what he wants.
This guy has kind of been slicing and dicing through traffic, and you just don't want to see an innocent person get hurt. That's really the bottom line here.
Oh, so he's going to get stuck here.
A lot of traffic right here.
And especially when these people, when they get desperate, when they get backed into something, you never know what's going to happen. But back to LAPD, spike strips could be an issue. Pit maneuver is not going to be good. Typically, if these drivers get really, really reckless, they'll go into what's called tracking mode. They'll pull the ground units off, and they'll let the helicopter stay above that person. That helicopter has almost no trouble staying with people. They're really good at tracking. That kind of puts the pressure off of that suspect. They usually calm down when they see those ground units being pulled off them, and they don't drive as crazy.
Somebody said he's a good driver.
Is to release.
I'm not willing to say he's a good driver, but everybody else is stupid on the road. Like, look at all these fucking idiots in the left lane. He's not a terrible driver, but I'm not willing to say he's a good driver yet. But there's a lot of stupid drivers on the road, which is kind of par for the course. No matter where you are, you're going to see stupid drivers. Uh-oh, he's backed up now, boys. He's getting backed up.
Up on Havenhurst here, just off the 101. Do we know what kind of car he's driving?
I think this is a Honda. It looks like a sedan or some kind of four-door. It might be a BMW. I'm not sure, but it's
that's not a Beamer. That's that looks like a Maxima
commuter vehicle.
That looks like a Maxima.
There you go, 4 doors. So it's not a high-performance vehicle, so he's probably not going to be able to, really get those speeds cranked up.
It's either a Nissan or Toyota.
About as fast as we'll see,
I think,
out of this vehicle. All right, there he goes, moving to the left again.
And to the best of our knowledge, there's only the driver in the car. We don't know of any other passengers or anything.
It's a 4-door sedan on ball tires. I think it's either a Nissan or Toyota. It's hard to tell.
All right, so I've just heard from my desk, they're telling us that LAPD is speaking with CHP to get them involved in this pursuit. Perhaps they think that because he's been on the freeway for so long now, that these officers, they're a long ways out of where they typically work.
Sure.
So what happens with this is these LAPD officers are from NoHo, North Hollywood, right? So that's what the area they know. All right, he's getting off. Is he getting off of Havenhurst? Nope. Looks like he's going to stay on the freeway.
Ultima. Oh shit.
And so.
Oh shit.
So if this suspect does get off the freeway here, these officers are not going to have an advantage because they're not going to know the area. So what they're going to do is if they expect this to stay on the freeway, they'll get CHP involved because CHP has so many offices they can hand it off from one CHP branch to another and stay within their area. And they've got, CHP is going to have officers ahead of this vehicle that hopefully can run a traffic break, block him in, throw out spike strips, do something.
Dude, if it's a Nissan Altima, that would be funny.
To do on the freeway.
It is amazing to watch the driving here, how he's weaving in and out of the traffic. The one thing we can't help but notice is this was originally a want for a DUI suspect. So there was no report that the car was stolen. So chances are they know who's driving this vehicle, correct?
Yeah, that's a good bet to make because they weren't looking at a stolen vehicle, which you never know who's going to steal a vehicle. But because it was, a want for DUI,
you kind of know who's going to steal a vehicle.
And he's the one driving.
Statistically speaking, you know who's going to steal a vehicle.
When they suspect that it's DUI, when they suspect that they know who's in that vehicle, they will pull off the ground units.
Jeremy's never been to California. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I've literally lived in California for like 6 months, and I've been to California about 6 times.
It does happen
so
sometimes,
fuck you.
But right now, he's not presenting enough danger to the public, and from the LAPD's perspective, to call this pursuit off. So they're looking to keep this guy and get him, and hopefully get him soon.
Brian, I'm going to ask you the exact location here. I'm looking at the banner on your mapping system here, and it says the 101 at Woodman, but I know we're way beyond Woodman.
No, it's not I don't think that's a Corolla. That doesn't look.
Yeah,
Corolla is a smaller vehicle.
So we have also just heard that they believe the suspect is armed. Yeah, so that map that's actually not correct. We're getting into the West Valley now.
For 6 months, yeah, that was 6 months was enough for me. I was like, I got to get the hell out of here.
So we're probably coming up. I'm not exactly sure, but we're coming up to the West Valley right now, kind of.
So you have a couple of exits there. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look at this and see if there's anything familiar. You have what?
Ladies man says slow news day. Bro, I can take a no news day and grift the fuck out of it for 2 or 3 hours, okay? I don't need news to grift.
Topanga Canyon. What do we have here?
So that was Reseda and Tampa. Those are Reseda's coming up, and then Tampa. So, we're getting far into the West Valley now. Reseda and Tampa. Those, and we'll have Topanga after that eventually. But we're going to be getting into we're eventually like Agora Hills. Like we're going to be moving into that area, and we'll just kind of see what happens. You can see
Dan Bass says, did he steal retro games?
I wonder if CHP.
It's not a Corolla.
But yeah, they're actually.
I think it's a Maxima
a lot right now,
or
so
an Ultima. That's what I think.
What exactly the call is? They've backed way off, and here's our suspect vehicle. He's still driving. The air unit's still overhead.
How much to end this police chase, Harley Dave?
So nobody around him knows what's going on or what he's doing.
Dude, I can't do
this
that.
Is getting a bit more dangerous as those police
getting
units
too good.
fall back, and this person.
$500 super chat, and I'll at least think about it.
The traffic is cleared up a little bit,
I'll
as you can
think
tell.
about it.
It's hard to tell here.
Or 50 gifted memberships, I'll think about
overhead. You're right. Tampa's coming up in 1 mile here. Chopper
An
overhead.
Infinity? Maybe Infinity. Might be an Infinity.
Correct?
Correct. He has not turned his lights off yet. We see that a lot with pursuits at night. But right now, this person, he's got
I'm
his
invested
headlights
too.
on.
I can't end this.
He hasn't turned those
Oh
off.
shit. Oh
A
shit.
lot of cars nowadays, though, they have running lights that.
Why
they're
wouldn't
not
he
the
move
easiest
over
things to
right
turn
now?
off. So,
Why wouldn't he move over right
but
now?
He's got his lights on. So they okay. So let's see. I think that's the LAPD back right on top of our suspect. I don't think the CHP has been handed off yet.
Infinity's
but
a Nissan. I know.
From our desk informing me that they do suspect this person is armed.
Ooh.
So that might be one of the reasons
That's
that
not
they
good.
are. So we're coming up on Winnetka, DeSoto, and Cahuenga. And we're coming up on Winnetka now, and so we're getting far into the West Valley. So LAPD is probably pursuing this person because they suspect that he's armed. They're not going to just want to let that person go. They're going to want to keep an eye on him, make sure that he doesn't.
Thank
do
you
any
for the new
damage
membership,
with
Miss
that
Six.
suspected weapon that he
Appreciate
has with him there in the vehicle.
Just a reminder for people, if you're just now joining us, this chase started in North Hollywood at about 6:40 tonight. Originally, the want they were looking at this guy as
Stephen
a DUI
Strange says
suspect.
these fuckers will do
And,
anything
now
to
we've just
distract from
learned
the
that
Epstein
he may
files.
or may not be armed. So right now, I believe we're on the 101 headed north, coming up on DeSoto and maybe Canoga right after that.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yep, that's correct.
Give us an idea of his speeds at this point.
So right now, he's going faster than traffic. So I would suspect that he's going about 75, 80 miles an hour probably. The traffic's not too heavy here, but yeah, we're moving faster than the flow of traffic right now. For the most part, he's staying in those left-hand number 1 and number 2 lanes, which is where generally that faster traffic, lives, which is good. That keeps him a little bit safer. So you can see people. It seems like people
Harley
are seeing
owns
those
Jeremy.
police lights
He
and are
does.
pulling
Him
over.
and
We're
Laughing
watching
Man.
people get over to the right as this approaches those different vehicles that he's coming up on. But yeah, there's still plenty of traffic out here. There's still plenty of people that are just going home. After a long week, they're just trying to go home, and then they get stuck with this pursuit coming around them.
What up, Brock?
For all the erratic driving we've seen, it doesn't appear that he's clipped anybody or hit any other vehicles, does it?
No, he's come close. He has cut vehicles off. There you go.
Brock, get out of the way.
Okay, CHP. Those are CHP units that just took over the pursuit. Those are, you can see, those are different police vehicles. Those are the Dodge Charger or Challenger. So that's CHP now. LAPD typically drives those police Explorers. So now this has been handed off to CHP.
Dan Clancy's in charge.
CHP, they have different tactics. They have
Thank you for
different
the
rules
5
of
gifted
engagement. They
memberships.
have
Appreciate
different ways
that.
of doing things. Sometimes they're more aggressive.
That's right,
Sometimes,
Harley. It's
they're not.
transformative.
In my experience, watching a lot of pursuits, CHP tends to be more aggressive. So we'll see what happens with this person as they continue with the CHP pursuing them. But yeah, so right now it's been switched over. CHP has taken over this pursuit because he's been on the freeway, because he's been here on this freeway for so long. They probably thought, you know what, we need to get our officers back into areas they're familiar with, and we need.
I wonder how long this has been going on. Did he have a full tank of gas when it started? I mean, if he's driving what I believe is a Nissan, probably a Nissan Maxima or an Altima or something like that, then that's going to get pretty good gas mileage. So decent anyway. So he can go for a pretty good while if he had a full tank when it started.
Once again, can you give us an idea of location?
Yeah, so right now here, I'll pull out a little bit here. We're getting deep into the West Valley. Okay, so I have just heard that they did confirm that this subject is armed, that they do have some sort of weapon. There you go, Winnetka, Mulholland, and Valley Circle.
Business is just picked up, boys.
Valley, at the very far west end of the San Fernando Valley, Winnetka, Mulholland. That's so we're going to be getting into more bedroom communities of Los Angeles. It's not going to be as much businesses out here. If he gets off the freeway out here, he's going to be in neighborhoods for quite some time, unless
Absolutely.
So that's gonna be interesting if he decides to get off the freeway. Right now, it looks like this suspect is content to just cruise on the freeway and just go north on the 101. So we're north on the 101. I believe that's Winnetka that we're about to pass.
Get comfortable. We may be here a while.
And so we're just moving north. And
how do they know? Well, I mean, let's just assume that this person is the owner of the vehicle. We're operating on assumptions. If this person is the owner of the vehicle, they've got the license plate. They've probably contacted people that know him. So that's probably one way that they can confirm if he is armed. Maybe they talked to someone that knew him as this whole thing went down. They knew that he left the house with a gun. There's a million different ways that they could do that if he is the owner of the vehicle.
Now traffic is relatively light. I don't see any stops. I don't see any on-ramps being closed right now. And I don't see any traffic breaks being run. But the traffic is getting light. You can see on both sides of the freeway.
What up, Jessica?
It's kind of lighter traffic.
Possible DUI, that's all we really know.
Rush hour times. We're also getting farther away from Los Angeles, where there's going to be less traffic in general. So right now we're headed, kind of into the bedroom communities of the West Valley, and he just continues speeding here on the freeway.
Reeser in charge.
Once again, if you're just joining us, we're following this police chase, this pursuit through the San Fernando Valley.
Dirty
right
Jersey.
Now, he is deep into the west side, coming up on, I believe, Calabasas and those areas at this point. The original want on this was suspected DUI, but the LAPD has also confirmed that the driver of
let's see, he's going to make it to 1,000 Oaks. That's where my money is.
Streaming this coverage live on our NBC4 Los Angeles news channel. You can find us wherever you stream or on our BCLA app.
What? You can't cut the... What? What? You can't cut the feed. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. I have no audio here. Is this him? That's it. Oh, wait. Okay, we're back. We're back. You fuckers.
We're coming up on Valley Circle here, so we're really, and like you said, we're going to be getting into that Calabasas area. The freeway is, as you can tell, we're getting lighter and lighter traffic as we continue west and north on these freeways.
You know, what we do know about this is that all of a sudden it changed from a DUI suspect to confirmation from the LAPD that the driver here is armed. And typically when that happens, Brian, they treat this wholly differently, don't they?
Exactly, right? There's a whole new variable that's going on when you're chasing a suspect that is armed. There's going to be different standards that you're going to employ when this eventually comes to an end.
I got a backup feed now in case they cut away again.
Methodical procedures that they're going to do because this.
You think it's a Honda?
Has been.
It could be a Honda.
Armed. So and it also becomes just more dangerous and a lot more unpredictable. It's not a good situation for anybody involved.
All right, Brian, we're going to stay with your picture. We're going to bring in Sergeant Dan Keene with the Southern Division of the CHP. Sergeant, are you with us?
Please text Gary and tell him to stop.
What can you tell us about this right now? You've got units behind it. How far will you go, and what's the protocol?
Yeah, so we're going to stay with this pursuit as long as.
Can you tell us what type of vehicle it is? We know.
We're going to transition over to different areas. Even if it leaves the county, we have different units that will follow it outside of the county, since the LAPD has requested our assistance with this pursuit.
That's good, Craig.
Like you were saying, if the individual is armed and dangerous, a few different tactics may develop throughout the pursuit. We may add in a couple additional units to help and show a little bit more caution when it comes to the termination of the pursuit.
Bottom line here, do you just let him run until he runs out of gas here? Because we know the LAPD is saying he is armed.
Every pursuit is different. There are different tactics, as you've seen, with spike strips, pit maneuvers, different things like that. Ultimately,
you would attempt a pit maneuver. I don't mean to interrupt, but I was just surprised when you said that. You would attempt a pit maneuver on a car with a suspect that's armed?
Like I said, every situation is different. It depends on the situation at hand. But our ultimate goal is to end this pursuit safely to ensure that no one gets injured.
What else do you know about
Appreciate
this?
you, man. Thank you so much. I like Freedom Tunes. They're awesome.
This particular chase?
Thank you so much.
We're still getting additional information from LAPD, but they just requested us to take over. We know that they shared that the individual is possibly armed with a weapon, so we are going to use that caution and stay in this and use
the most interesting thing right now is what type of vehicle is it? I say a Nissan.
We see a lot of them.
Some people are saying a Honda.
We never really get a chance to break it down and
some
talk
people are saying a Toyota.
Like you. Give us an idea of what it's like.
I think it's a Nissan.
Somebody on scene in one of those patrol cars. Who's in charge here?
At the situation, we have different officers. The primary officer is going to be focused on driving and following the suspect. We have our airship overhead where they would be calling the
says to take him out.
Is that typically the lead vehicle here? Sergeant?
He said, fuck you. He's tired of your bullshit. He's tired of it.
Have we lost Sergeant Keene? Okay, let's go back out to Brian. Sergeant, you with us again? Yes.
Yep,
so is that
I'm here.
Oh, good. Is that typically the lead vehicle, the person who is sort of calling the shots out there?
Kia? You think it might be a Kia?
Typically in the pursuit.
It's either Nissan or Toyota. That's what I'm saying.
Scene, or like I said, our airship that's overhead.
Okay.
They're calling
Hyundai?
out things.
Hyundai is possible.
Ultimately, we do have a supervisor who will monitor
VW Bug, Prius,
and make those decisions.
When you
H says, I'm not a gamer. I love this channel.
When the car is not stolen.
Thanks for being here.
So you have plates on a car. I would assume you run the plates and know who's driving?
My first answer was Nissan
know
Maxima.
Exactly who is driving the vehicle. We could run the license plate of it, do our best to make a fair judgment of that vehicle belongs to, and do some due diligence and follow up at the address to see if it is the registered owner driving the vehicle. But that's all part of what we are constantly doing with our dispatchers and our different units that are involved.
I would assume that's done real time, very quickly when this is going on.
Yeah, as fast as we can. So there are multiple people behind the scenes that are also working as well, not just our units that are out there. We have our dispatchers and other units that we use that have access to programs to see where the
Nerdy Neo says, I just Googled it. It's a Nissan Sentra. Is that right?
Prior calls for
I
service,
think it's definitely a
contacting the local
Nissan.
police
I think.
department to assist us with this. So it's more than just the units that you see on scene.
Would you typically then have some sort of negotiation or phone call with a driver like this?
If there's that option for us, that is definitely something that we would try to employ.
Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Give us an idea of what
What's
happens
the dude's
next
in
in
game?
this sort
I
of
don't think he has a
scenario.
plan. He's
Just
kind of
looking
like
at the
Lucasfilm. He
case
just
that
doesn't
we're
have a
looking at
plan.
right now.
So we never
According
know.
to
We
KTLA,
never know.
it's a
We
Nissan
are
Sentra.
Kind of just
Noted.
following along. And
Looks like we got an answer,
looking
boys.
for opportunities to safely end this pursuit.
Nissan Sentra.
The ultimate goal is that this individual just pulls over.
Let's say I'm driving northbound on the 101 right now and I see all of this in my rear view mirror. Best advice for a driver out there when they see this
Get the
coming your
fuck
way.
out of the way.
Always yield to the right. Do not get involved and keep your distance.
Anything we missed, anything you'd like to add?
No, I just, everyone please drive safe. If you do see this, like you just said, stay out of the way. And if anyone knows the individual who's driving this vehicle, please call them and tell them to pull over and to not risk anything happening to anyone.
Sergeant, does it surprise you that
we got
people...
a better angle right here. We got a better angle right here for right now. Let's see here.
Oxnard Airport reporting low IFR conditions, and that will affect all of the aircraft heading into Ventura County.
Thank you, Harley.
As we get closer to Camarillo eventually. So we've got some clear skies ahead of us
Hassan.
up until I would say about 6
Yeah, that's
or 7
100% a
miles, and
Nissan.
then
No
it
doubt.
Clearly,
No doubt. That's a Nissan.
Closes up for all involved. News media as well as law enforcement. So he's going to continue, it looks like, straight up the 101 freeway, holding steady in that number 4-5 lane, and passing Fillmore now as he comes up on Thousand Oaks. We're good.
Appreciate you, man, bro, dude. Thank you, sir. It's a Subaru, probably an LGBTQ. Nissan equals black.
Still doing triple-digit speeds here, straight up the 101 freeway, crossing over a little bit over to the number 2 lane. Actually slowing down. Is that accurate?
No, he's
Rob?
speeding back up now.
Okay, so he's slowing down. He's in the 70s.
Yeah.
Doing about 70 now. Maybe showing signs of getting off. We'll see here. He's got plenty of pavement ahead of him. It's curious to see him get over to the right here for no apparent reason. Again, he's got little traffic to contend with.
So, Dirk Mather says, I don't know where he's going, but he's making good time. Yeah, you would think until he gets there. And then I think he's going to have a few things slow him down. How are all these police flashing lights so synchronized? Great training right there, man. What's up, Dark Schwartz Rising? It's Schumer. So if you're tuning in, we have a police chase going on. Police chases are awesome as long as no innocent people get hurt. But
Continuing
unfortunately,
through Thousand Oaks here, northbound side of the 101 freeway, a hot pursuit on a Friday night. California Highway Patrol taking us from Los Angeles County now into Ventura County, now asking for help from Ventura County CHP to get involved in this pursuit. So they may be getting ready to hand it off to another CHP office here in the next couple of minutes. Right now, these are LA County CHP units.
I would agree for this to be a possible DUI. Like this guy seems to be driving extremely well for someone that's driving under the influence.
They pull back, and then again, we still have that LAPD airship overhead here with only a couple more miles of open skies, and then that marine layer will become an obstacle imminently in the next couple of minutes.
What up, Bebop? You said you PayPal me some cash if I break 100 miles an hour. Where is it? Hail the 199. This guy is the real racist. Maybe drugs. Maybe.
Talk to me.
I mean, this guy, like, watching this guy, he has not seemed to be extremely out of control in the time that we've been watching this. He seems to be, he's not overly aggressive. He's made a couple of, kind of quick maneuvers, but nothing crazy. He seems to be very calm in how he's driving. He hasn't seemed to panic or anything like that.
So quickly from about 10 miles to zero viz once he gets underneath that layer right there, and you can see the brake lights and or I should say the tail lights of the traffic ahead of him, as well as those California Highway Patrol units who are now chasing this suspect with ground units only further up in towards Camarillo in Ventura County, where you can see that thick marine layer blanketing Ventura County and blanketing the 101 freeway. This suspect disappearing into the mist. CHP with a full
50 gifted memberships from Harley Dave. Holy crap.
And eventually we'll be turning around heading back home. But this pursuit, or at least our coverage of this pursuit, is going to come to a pause here. Until we figure out if he's going to continue straight up the 101, which it certainly appears that he is.
Oh, I'm losing all my feeds.
Turns around, that's going to do it for our coverage. We have now.
I'm losing all my feeds. All the feeds are in. Hang on, is this another one? No. This is the restart of it. Shit. We lost our fucking feed. Are you kidding me? Hang on. Yeah, they lost their feed. Everybody's losing their feed now. This is some crap. Does Smoke and Scan have it? This is crap. Give me a minute. I'm looking. Let me go for live. Live. Okay. Yep, their feed is done. He's lost his feed. Everybody's losing their feed right now. Why did they have to stop? That's stupid. You can't do that to us. He went Batman Begins. Yeah, they ended their feed. So right here, this feed ended. ABC's feed, ABC7's feed ended. Are they back again?
I'm down. Robbie. Okay.
What a bunch of crap. I got no feed. This is why people hate Democrats. Yeah, everybody who else was reacting to it lost their feed too. So I am now searching to see. Harley Dave might have ended the police chase. Read the chat. I am reading the chat. He's getting away. Well, shit. That's a big disappointment. I don't see anything right now. The fog and the airport. Somebody's got to have this. I'm looking. Give me a minute. Feed's down. Yeah, everybody's feed is down. So.
Sure,
like
I think so.
He was watching it. He's looking for a feed right now, but he can't find one. Blame Newsom. I am 100% okay with blaming Newsom. 100%. Yep, that's not. Or Smoke and Scan doesn't have it. No one has the feed, so there is no feed now. I guess we're going to have to move on. Lady R&D says, I feel unfulfilled. I wish I could say that was the first time a woman has said that to me, but it's not. Okay, well, I guess we're done. I guess we got nothing. I'm looking. Nothing. No stream to find. Yeah. Trump tweeted something 32 minutes ago. I feel unfilled. You let him get away, Jeremy. It was technically Harley Dave's fault. Harley Dave's the one that dropped 50 gifted memberships. And did you see how it lined up? Harley Dave drops 50 gifted memberships, and suddenly he gets away. Anybody notice that? Boom, another 50 gifted memberships from Harley Dave. Holy crap. That's 250 bombs. You know what that means? You know what that means? Anna Paulina Luna has to show up. Okay? Anna Paulina Luna in the house for everybody's enjoyment. All right. Yeah, everybody's feed got killed. It's like, I can't believe that. No one has access to it at all. That is wild. Oh, wow. If you guys see a feed pop up, please, somebody in the chat, let me know. I will happily cover the feed if we can find one, but at this moment in time, I see nothing. Wickedest says she's still only a 7. Bro, you need to stop. You need to, like, stop. Stop with the edgelord bullshit, okay? You need to stop. ABC 7 went live again, but they are not covering the police chase. What is this? Okay, nothing there. All right, well, we got nothing. So, that sucked. But Harley Dave just dropped 250 gifted memberships in the chat, back to back. Let me see. Yeah, a lot of people are saying she's a 10 because she is a 10. I mean, she just is. Like, it's just, that's an objective fact at this point in time. So, Trump sent out a tweet. Let me see. Real Donald Trump. No, he didn't. He didn't send anything out right now. I'm looking at his Twitter account. I don't see anything. So, what is this? NBA Commissioner Adam Silver addresses the gambling allegations during game interview with Cassidy Hubbard. This is a really good interview given the game, the in-game nature of it. Silver says the league cleared Rozier in 2023 after investigation found no wrongdoing. Well, Clay Travis also was on Fox News earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Here's Clay right here. Now, the chat will be happy to see who's hosting this interview with Clay Travis.
Let's bring in Outkick founder Clay Travis. He's also an attorney, knows a little bit about gambling. Had a show a long time ago. Let me ask you the question that people want to know right now. Are prop bets gone now? You think they get banned?
I don't think they are going to get banned, Aisha. I mean, it's a question. And for people who don't know, a prop bet would be something where you say on an individual basis, hey, I think a player is going to have more or less and over under on points, rebounds, assists, for example, in basketball, touchdown passes, rushing yards, passing yards in football. I don't think they are. But I actually think the biggest story right now, Aisha, is how many other people were involved with what you guys just showed us? Do you really think the mafia, if they had the technology to rig poker games like that, is only going to do it with Chauncey Billups? I mean, if you have X-ray tables and if you have...
I see you, Dork Man. 20K over on Rumble with 20 gifted memberships. Hail to you, brother. Thank you so much for the love.
Cell phone devices that can read card hands. It feels likely to me that what they referred to as face cards, that is famous people like Chauncey Billups, that they were doing these games all over the place. And I'll be honest with you, I'm an awful poker player because I do not count cards well enough. I don't analyze the data quick enough when the cards get flipped over as super brilliant poker players do. There's a lot of games like this that are very high level. According to this, one guy lost $1.8 million in one hand, and they used the mafia to make sure they were collecting on these. I think there's a lot of trepidation right now in pro sports circles, not as much on the side.
Well, as I said yesterday when I covered this, I don't really care what's happening in the world of sports. I am self-aware enough to know that, a billion-dollar business is full of shitty people with shitty behavior. And I don't really have, this kind of idea that athletes are great people or whatever. And I don't really care. Ultimately, I think people should be held accountable if they're doing something illegal. But the thing that bothers me about this is that the NBA, the league, has decided to make everything about a virtue signal. The league has decided to tell middle America that you're all racist and sexist if you don't support our league and if you don't stand with us against racism and all that bullshit. And at that point in time, I'm like, you now deserve to be criticized and a microscope should be put on you because you're projecting. You are literally hiding something. Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. When you attack the very audience that you want to pay attention to you, when you become an activist league, then I have no sympathy for you at all.
Of Terry Rozier deciding to throw idiotically for $200,000 potentially a $26 million contract out the window. But the question of how widespread were these poker games, how many different people got rigged, how many people got fraudulently taken advantage of, and just how big does this become? In other words, are we just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now and there is a lot more to come? I think there's nervousness and anxiety in many different aspects of professional sports related to the Chauncey Billups connection.
Very quickly, though, I mean, you kind of touched on this. Why? Like, help us understand them. These are millionaires. These players have huge contracts, money that you and I will never see. Maybe you will. But this is a lot of money to risk for a couple $100,000 in some cases.
Ain't no way Clay's thinking about how hot she is right now. That's because of course he is. Clay's like talking to her, but he's thinking about how hot she is as he's talking to her.
I mean, Charles Barkley put it this way today. He didn't think this was about addiction. He said they're just stupid.
Yeah. I think guys don't know the consequences, Aisha, and I think you asked a really important question because my thought is if you're making $26.6 million like Terry Rozier was,
JB24 says that's what I'm doing.
Aisha, I think it's $380,000 roughly per game on that contract than he would make off of these prop bets. I think guys are getting taken advantage of. I think they aren't behaving intelligently. And I think they're not really aware of the consequences of some of their actions. And it needs to be more widespread. And by the way, let me just say this. The reason we're catching guys is because of legal sports gambling. The books were the victim here. Aisha, they become aware when people are betting amounts that are unnatural and are helping to catch people here with authorities.
I think the biggest surprise for me was that there's still so many mafia families operating. I mean, that is wild.
No doubt. This is going to be an incredible movie.
Hell yeah. There's a movie script being written right
100%.
now, Clay. Well, you should get on it right now. Clay, thank you for joining.
I'll work on it.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Aisha.
You got the freaking mafia, involved in this story too, which is crazy. But that leads us to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver having this interview right here.
Thanks, Ian. Adam, yesterday, federal indictments were announced involving current player Terry Rozier and current head coach Chauncey Billups. What was your initial reaction, and what have the last 36 hours been like for you?
My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed. There's nothing more important to the league.
I can barely hear him. I'm sure you guys can barely hear him as well.
League and its fans and the integrity of the competition. And so I had a pit in my stomach. It was very upsetting.
And Terry
Vampire
was allowed to keep playing after an NBA investigation ruled that there was no NBA rules violated.
Yeah, I can barely hear him. So we're not going to make you guys sit through another 2 minutes of that. But anyway, I don't think you're going to get anything revealing per se with that interview. But I'm glad that the NBA is under a microscope for all of their virtue signaling, for all of their everybody's racist and sexist bullshit. I'm glad that they're actually under a microscope. They deserve it. Simple as that. And of course, with all of this, we've had the Stephen A. Smith take, which has just been absolutely hilarious to watch, the Stephen A. Smith thing. And you had right here, you had Scott Adams talking about Stephen A. Smith. And it's interesting. I don't watch a lot of Scott Adams, but he's talking about Stephen A. Smith's take yesterday, talking about politics. Let's listen to a little bit of what Scott Adams has to say.
I'll start by saying he's very good at his job. That's sort of my best compliment. He's really good at his job. He's so good on video. And he obviously knows his domain. He knows his sports, etc. But when he crossed over into politics, what happened was he managed to say something that was compatible with how people were thinking. And because he's very good on TV, he said it in a way that got people's attention. And he's just great on TV. So he gets a lot of attention. But here's the problem. Once he got a lot of attention for talking about politics, but I think he'd said some sort of obvious things, like, why doesn't Trump get credit for closing the border?
What up, Flash?
Or why doesn't Trump get some credit for, Gaza, even if you don't like other things he's doing? Now, those are the safest things you could have ever said. They required no real penetrating analysis or background or historical understanding or context or almost anything. Those are really easy opinions. Now, what's easier about it is that since he was not known as a political commentator, he had a little more freedom, that nobody would think it was too weird if he said, well, you have to give Trump some credit for the things he did right, but you don't have to like all the things he does. Now, he was just happened to be in the perfect place. He was the perfect messenger for a thing that people wanted to hear, especially people on the right. They wanted to hear somebody say, all right, I admit it. Trump did a good thing there. It just felt so good to hear it. So he starts out with maybe 2 or 3 home runs in a row. I mean, just frozen ropes. And, but they were easy. The topics were just easy for somebody who was in exactly his situation, which is great communicator.
But see, here's the thing that Scott Adams doesn't understand about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith doesn't know anything about anything. His sports knowledge is equivalent to his political knowledge. He just talks about surface level shit. He doesn't actually know anything. If you listen to his sports takes, the thing that Stephen A knows the most about is the NBA. Outside of that, Stephen A has no sports knowledge whatsoever. Zero. Like, did you ever see the clip with Stephen A and Joe Rogan talking about UFC? Oh my God. It was painful because Stephen A is always like trying to pretend that he knows something about stuff, but he doesn't. Is this it right here? I think this might be it. Yeah, so right here. Joe Rogan absolutely destroys Stephen A. Smith for pretending he knows about combat sports. All right. Stephen A. doesn't know shit.
Regain where he used to be when he was hungry, when he was desperate, and that's why he fought so intensely tonight.
This is tough for me because here I'm standing next to a legend, okay? And far be it for me to refute anything that Joe Rogan says, but here's my reality. We haven't learned a damn thing about Conor McGregor based off of this fight.
Really?
Because who were you? Listen, the man did not get hit other than one kick to the arm. That's it. I mean, he didn't.
Rogan is sitting there going, bro, what is this man talking about?
I have gotten hit that much in the last week, okay? And I don't fight. I mean, come on, y'all. The fact of the matter is we don't know, and we know that Conor McGregor is a champion. We know he's a great fighter. We know that he's boxed.
You could just look at Joe, and Joe is like, dude, you might want to stay in your lane. Why are you standing next to me? And I'm not a big UFC guy myself, but like, I know Joe Rogan knows what he's talking about. And I know that Stephen A has no idea what he's talking about.
He's phenomenal for the sport. We're all happy he won. If you love this sport, you got to be happy that Conor McGregor won. But you didn't learn anything from tonight's fight because Cowboy Cerrone just didn't show up. I could have ran for 40 seconds.
I disagree. We learned he rises to the occasion. We learned he could put Cowboy away. We learned that he can land a head kick. We learned that he could beat him down. We learned that this guy performs when the lights.
That's fair. That's fair. What are you talking about, Stephen A?
Are on him. We already knew that, but we learned that he was focused, and we saw. I've been aware of his training. He was in tip-top shape for this, and he was treating this like this is a potential resurrection of his career. Nurmagomedov humiliated, Floyd Mayweather humiliated him, so there's 2 humiliating losses in a row. This was his return, and it was a pretty significant return.
I can stand corrected on that because what he's saying is when you look at what Conor McGregor did, you can take something from seeing what he did based on what he's done in the past. He was knocking guys out in the past with his fist. This time it was a leg kick. It was the shoulder, so that's something new. All I'm alluding to is what Cowboy Cerrone was incapable of taking inside of 40 seconds. Like you said, Joe, if you're done in 15 seconds, it's hard for me. I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with it. I get it. I learned something from you tonight. I got that. In terms of what Conor McGregor, something different came to us.
Here's a clip. A few of you brought up. This is a Young Turks clip, but actually, let's go to right here. Okay. So this is a famous clip with Stephen A and Teddy Bruschi. All right. And you'll see Stephen A running his mouth and he has no idea what he's talking about. And Teddy Bruschi is like, wait, what?
I have some faith in Spencer Ware and thinking that, he can do some things. I'm keeping my eyes on this matchup right here.
Spencer Ware's out.
I'm sorry?
Spencer Ware is out.
Oh, yes, I forgot. I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry. Absolutely, he is out. But I'm thinking Tyreek Hill. I'm thinking Patrick Mahomes. I'm also looking at the San Diego Chargers on offense, and I'm thinking about Hunter Henry and the way that he's played this year, as efficient as he's been. He's going up against Derek Johnson, and I got to keep my eyes on that because I'm looking at it from the standpoint. Listen, here's where I'm at with all of this. At the end of the day, I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes, I'm looking at Tyreek Hill.
And that is the exact moment I realized I am qualified to work at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith on this morning's First Take just butchers. He gets so many things wrong in less than a minute.
Oh, yes, I forgot. I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry. Absolutely, he is out. The San Diego Chargers on offense, and I'm thinking about Hunter Henry and the way that he's played this year. He's going up against Derek Johnson.
It's like he was looking at the matchup between the Chargers and Chiefs from 2017, I don't know what the hell happened. He tried to defend himself on Twitter. This clip's already, it's blowing up. Everybody's sharing it. But Hunter Henry has been on injured reserve.
So again, now that what we're seeing with Stephen A the other day and everything he said about President Trump, people in the political world are now learning, like, hey, maybe this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And again, I think that, listen, I've been watching Stephen A for a long time. He's a hell of a communicator. He is good at making you think he knows what he's talking about. He's really good at that. I've never disputed that. But that clip of Trump and what he said yesterday is really bad. And then Kash Patel actually called him out and said it's one of the dumbest things I have ever heard in my life because of what Stephen A said. So now you're seeing people just seeing like, wait a minute, we've been bringing this guy on and they're pushing for him. And again, the Democratic Party is in such a bad place that I think Stephen A has a shot to become a player within the Democratic Party. Absolutely. Because they're so bad. They have nobody. They have absolutely nobody. Welcome to the clown show known as the Democratic Party. It is embarrassing to say the least. That is where they are. Dark Sports Rising, they had to cut to reruns of MASH, better ratings. You got to be old to understand that one. I understood that reference. Brock for 10 says my Mario Kart skills saved me again. No update, I guess. No update. MAGA Cracker Mike says they're hiding it because the car identifies as a Chrysler 300. There's Harley Dave with 250 gifted memberships back to back. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Cool Breeze says they say they are worried about stopping him because he's armed, so rather wait for him to stop. Obviously a contradiction. They do this so he does something drastic for more charges. They can stop him easy. MAGA Mike says, do people think these boring Democrat operative fucks resonate with younger generations? The old guard Democrats are done. The new AOC generation is done. All Democrat generations are cooked. I mean, you would think in theory that they are in big trouble. But Democrats have an ability to continue to show up. But I actually have a very good video with Megyn Kelly and Jesse Kelly right here talking about this. I want to get a little further in. We'll just start the whole thing. So this is a good discussion from these two.
Need to be speaking out what the right needs to do.
Well, this is, again, a mentality that is changing, so I don't want to act like we're failing. 10 years ago, we were failing. It is changing, and I want to echo what Megan said when she was out here. I do commend you for this. Maybe you don't feel courageous, but it takes guts now, especially with all these violent animals on the other side. It takes guts.
Totally.
So for the longest time, because we didn't fully understand what we were dealing with on the left, we thought, we could be hands-off, laissez-faire, they'll wake up, that old conservative way of thinking of, well, they'll come around when they start paying taxes, or they'll wake up one day. But the truth is, when you're dealing with a demonic force like communism, you have to be aggressive with it.
Yes.
And so the second the communist tells you what he hates or what he fears, you don't shy away from it. You feed it to him. So the second they tell you they don't want you talking to kids on college campuses, they don't want you doing public events, we'll kill you, we'll do this, we'll do that. No, you double down on them. You do this on everything, you double down on them. When they're tearing down statues, and I don't care whose statue it is, I don't care if it's Christopher Columbus or Robert E. Lee or whoever it is, the second they tear one down, you build 10 more right there. And you don't ever let these people destroy the way they want to destroy. They have always, since the Bolshevik Revolution to where we are in the United States of America today, they have thrived on the naivete and the niceness of their political opposition, and the fact their political opposition never quite understood. Well, they don't mean to do that, right? That this is an accident. They don't get it. No, they do get it.
They absolutely get it.
We haven't gotten it. We're starting to get it now, and that's why they're so afraid. It's fantastic.
Totally agree. Let's talk about.
Well, this is why the Trump attitude works perfectly, because the Trump attitude is to not give a damn what any of these clowns think. It's the mentality of the wall just got 10 feet taller. You cry about the wall just got 10 feet taller. And that's always been my attitude towards anything. Like, I'm not going to let anyone determine what I do or don't do by shaming or whatever. I don't care. I like what I like. I support what I support. I don't care if that works for somebody or not. I come from a time where, men were men, women were women. You actually just didn't give a fuck in your friend group. You talked shit. You had fun. You made jokes. And when somebody outside of the group, like if you have your friend group, first of all, within your friend group, you can make fun of each other about anything, and you absolutely will. But the moment someone outside of your friend group makes fun of someone within the friend group, then the entire friend group says, oh, no, fuck you. You don't come in here talking shit to our boy. And we all kind of stand together. And then as soon as that fight's over, we go back to talking shit to each other. And that's just how it works.
The media, because what I said is true. The media is dead. The mainstream media is over, and it's a blessing. And it's because of new media that we are able to tell the truth on things like what's happening at the White House now with the renovations and the number of renovations that have already been done to the White House over all the years. Like, none of the mainstream will tell you that. They wouldn't talk about Barack Obama's $380 million reno he did to the White House, way more than what Trump is doing. They wouldn't tell you what Truman did, completely revamping or Taft, the entire White House. They wouldn't talk about the pool that FDR put in. That's just one example. But we're able to counter program now in a way that has them panicked.
Well, they have had forever. I mean, when you think about it, you don't even have to go to ancient history. If it's 1990, right? How many channels on your television in 1990? We had one of the big wooden cased ones, and it was the little 13-click.
I'm not going to stop this discussion but Shohei Ohtani just hit a home run in Game 1 of the World Series. Historical, legendary baseball player we have right now. Whether you love him or hate him, this dude may be the single greatest baseball player that has ever lived. Anyway, we will continue.
1990. We had one of the big wooden cased ones, and it was the little 13-clicker. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's what you had. That's not ancient history. That's 1990. So if you owned NBC, ABC, CBS, the New York Times, the Washington Post, LA Times, and they did back then. If you owned,
they're down 7. I know that, but still, Shohei's still crushing it. So yeah, but that's irrelevant to how great that dude is.
Owned it. The truth was whatever you wanted, and normal people had no option to go seek out the truth because there's no internet, there's no smartphone, there's no Megyn Kelly show, there's no alternate source. Even if I'm trying to be informed, all I have is the newspaper and the news at night, and if they're all telling me the same lie.
And I think the world's pulling for the Blue Jays anyway. I probably am too. I don't want the Dodgers to win.
Which we now know they do. They tell the same lies over and over and over again. Have you gotten your 12th booster shot yet? But anyway, they all tell the same lies. And so our ancestors in this country, I say ancestors, honestly, our parents, they did not have the same opportunity we did to break out of that bubble the way we've broken out. And now that we've broken out, now that people see the light and they see the evil, the media is being completely stripped of all their power, and it's the greatest thing that could happen in this.
Yes.
You want a Canadian team to win? It's California versus Canada. It's literally the same thing anyway. So don't put that evil on me. It's either pull for Canada or pull for Canada. That's essentially what it is. If you want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it.
So wonderful. You can see, I think it's part of the leftist panic, though. Like, my own calculation is one of the reasons we're seeing more violence on the left is they're extremely angry that their universal control over all the institutions, media among them, is really quickly slipping away, and they can feel it. And this is a brand new front. Like, they've never had to deal with this before.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's part of the reason I took so much joy in the No Kings protests, actually, if I can get to this in kind of a roundabout
Even though
way.
we all know that you are king of all media.
So, I mean, think about where we were. It feels like 15 minutes ago, but it just last year, 2 years ago, I don't know about you, I felt completely culturally surrounded. It was like it happened all of a sudden. We woke up one day and wait, they're taking Aunt Jemima off the pancakes, and there are more lesbians in the kids' movies than the WNBA game. Like, I don't know. We woke up and said, how did that happen, right? And so we felt completely surrounded. Our institutions all felt against us. But like all evil, tyrannical, sick religions, like communism is, it's a religion, it's not a political ideology. They couldn't control themselves with power, so they got it, and everywhere they had it, they would abuse it and abuse you and abuse you and abuse you and abuse you. And just like that, it's disappearing on them, right?
That is 100% accurate. The moment they get any power, they just abuse you with the power. That is perfectly said.
Now, and so now all you have is some lame protest with a bunch of grannies doing these stupid pre-rehearsed dance routines, and Big Chungus out there making fun of Charlie Kirk, and now you're just screwed.
Big Chungus, I love it. I can't get enough of it. So how do we sustain what Trump has taught us, right? Trump showed the Republicans how to fight. That will be his lasting legacy. Trump, unfortunately, only gets another 3 years and change. And then he's going to have to pass the baton. And there are real questions, even though we love the bench, about whether what he's taught us can be sustained post-Trump.
Well, this is actually something I talked about on my radio show yesterday, this exact subject of because Trump has been the leading figure on the right for 10 years, and as of the year 2025, he's the seminal figure on the planet for the 21st century. That's not even debatable. No one else is close.
That is true.
When you think about
that is 100% true.
Trump being gone in 3 years, it can be a little, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But I just want to make sure everyone understands Trump is not the end. Trump was the beginning. Trump was the beginning and deserves a lot of credit for that.
Hey, I like that. I like that attitude. That's good. That's a good attitude to have. Trump is not the end. Trump is the beginning.
And that is in no way an insult. It's all the credit in the world. You know, the one who lays the foundation of the family business is always going to be revered, and he deserves to be, honored for that forever. But if he's the end, then we're finished anyway. But he won't be. There will be another, and then there will be another, and then there will be another. And when I say another, I'm really talking about everybody. I don't want to sound like one of these dirty hippies, but it really does take all of us. It's your school board. It's your local community. It's about so much more than the White House. It's honestly your HOA. You have dirt balls in your local community, even here in Red Texas. I have them in mine, and we need to get these people out of office.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so that's the problem, is that while we've been asleep and they've been passing laws to make it easy for teachers to trans children without involving the parents and so on, we've been asleep. Now we're waking up, but we're still slow to vote on team sanity. And we don't vote in local elections. We don't vote at the school board level. Too often we're like, we're busy, we're living our lives. Like we're fulfilled people. That's our problem. If we were like more empty inside, we'd probably go out and make sure that we canvassed and voted and make sure that everybody else, but like, even though we're happy and fulfilled, we're gonna need to start to vote now in every single election, up and down the board. So how do we get Republicans to do that? Because in general, it's more the left who's been like activated, and they'll make sure that they have their bus with Jane Fonda on it, getting all the people to every vote there is.
Well, this is the problem.
Proposition 15, she said.
This is the problem because it's going to create an extra burden on, honestly, the people in this room, because your friends they share your values. You go to church with them. You meet them at T-ball games, but they don't even know there's a local election coming. They don't know. They're living their lives. You have to be that point person in your circle. I try to encourage people with this all the time. 5 people. Tell 5 of your friends. You're going to be hanging out on Sunday. You're going to be watching a baseball, football game. Hey, did you hear we have an election on Wednesday? Hey, I'll come get you guys. It's important. We need to vote for this guy. Your friends are good people who don't know. You know. They don't know. You listen to Megyn Kelly. You know. They don't know anything, and that's not an insult to them. It's not their interest. They are busy doing other things, but they will do what you tell them to do. I run into this with my neighbors. I don't hang out with political people. I live here in Texas. I live in the burbs. I'm not in D.C., and all my friends are this way. They share my values. They agree with me, but when there's an election coming, they have no friggin' idea, so I have to say, hey, we're going to the polls on Tuesday. We got to go out. We We have to be that activist class because as a whole, we will never be as committed to tearing down the country as they are, or to preserving the country as they are to tearing it down. But we don't have to be, because the numbers are actually on our side if we can just get out there. But it's uniquely hard for people.
Well, that's what's interesting. So, like, if the left if the left wasn't so damn aggressive and so hateful and so evil, and if they could control themselves, they actually probably would still be in power right now. I think that they were very methodical for a short period of time, but once Barack Hussein Obama got his second re-election, when he got re-elected, it was like they lost all that methodical approach that they had. And because everybody was like on like that side. And I don't mean everybody. I know there wasn't a lot, but I'm just saying, like, generally speaking, they had numbers on their side. They absolutely had numbers on their side. And the arrogance and the way that they went about everything, especially in Barack Hussein Obama's second term, it was an eye-opening experience that everyone just, people that were kind of on the fence or people that weren't even paying attention to this stuff, everybody saw what the agenda was. Now, thank God for President Trump. And, this is why I say, like, I think that you look back on things and there had to be more things in play than just what was happening. Everything that lined up with Donald Trump and his run and him becoming the president, I feel that there was a higher power involved with that. I absolutely do, because you can't make up what has happened. You just can't make it up. Like you couldn't script it out. Like, the way that this happened was unbelievable. And then we needed to go through 2020 in order to get to where we are with 2024. We just did, because Trump would not have been able to accomplish what he needed to accomplish in his second term without going through 2020. It was not going to happen. And it just felt like, look at everything that happened with the campaign of 2024. Everything that we went through. Look at that intro that I run for the campaign lead up. The raiding of Mar-a-Lago, the arrest, the indictment, the assassination attempts, the getting into the trash truck, becoming a McDonald's employee. Like, all of these things swayed public perception and defeated the most evil people in the world that were trying to take this man down. And listen, I love Donald Trump. I think he's great. I don't think that it's possible that Donald Trump could have accomplished what he has accomplished in the last decade without something greater than all of us guiding him. I just truly believe that. And so you look at where we are and how quickly, if you take Donald Trump out of the equation, seriously, think about this for a minute. Take Donald Trump out of the equation. What happens? What happens in the 2016 election? Hillary Clinton wins. Barack Hussein Obama gets his third term. And all of that stuff that you saw in Barack Obama's second term gets significantly worse than you could ever imagine. Thank God for Donald Trump. I mean, it really is like I'm not sure I have a YouTube channel. I'm not sure most of the people that I run in circles with have a following on social media. We're talking about a completely different world without Donald J. Trump. So be very thankful for where you are. Let's continue.
red states to do that, because when we look out the window, it's right here in Sugar Land. When you look out the window, the animals aren't burning things down. And you think, you know, women aren't getting thrown in front of subway cars here and things like that. And so you think to yourself, okay, well, it's not that bad. I can skip vote. It's just a Saturday anyway. I'm not feeling that great. No, that the communist is coming for places like this, and they're already here.
Oh, and Texas has been in danger of turning bluer and bluer, thanks to places like Austin and Dallas. So yeah, you got to get out. And let me just say something. Like, the fact that you are all here suggests that you are more politically attuned than the average citizen and more into news than the average citizen, which means you probably will have to lead the way on getting people to vote, because your neighbors are living their lives and they're definitely not thinking about local elections. So you have to, you be the change. But you do, you have to be. Here's another thing I want to ask you about. There's a debate happening right now on the right about how much time do we give these leftists and the media and even some Republicans who are demanding that we comment on every scandal, like the Young Republicans text chain, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I think we should definitely comment on the Young Republicans group chat. I think it's very important that we comment on this. I think it's very important that we make it crystal clear that we don't care. Moving on. No, we don't care. No one cares. So next, you got another scandal you need me to comment on? Oh, someone else said something that hurt your feelings. Yeah, I don't care about that either. In fact, I think we should promote everyone that was in that group chat. I think they should all get a promotion.
About these young Republicans who got caught in a text chain in which there were some racist comments, there were some unfortunate comments, and the left
No, there
ran with
wasn't.
this on every media
No, there
outlet.
wasn't.
Like, they love to make this the news story because it bumped the Jay Jones, Virginia Attorney General candidate story off the front page. It was like, see, we told you all along, Republicans are all racists, aha. And then good people on the right kind of felt the need to say, like, tisk tisk, I condemn it, because, like, if I'm going to condemn the Jay Jones stuff, I got to condemn this. How do you see it?
Yeah, so let's say I'm FDR and it's World War II, and Douglas MacArthur comes to me and he says, hey, I just got word that some Marines are committing some atrocities in the Philippines. They're torturing people. I need you to look into that, or I want to report this to you. Now that's an action item for me because Douglas MacArthur's on my side. If I'm FDR in World War II and Tojo walks into my office and tells me Marines are doing something in the Philippines, that's not an action item for me. I know he's my mortal enemy. I know the only reason he's bringing me that information is because he wants me to act on the information he just gave me in a way that will be harmful to me. And so we have to be smart enough on the right not to jump on every landmine the left throws out there, because as you just pointed out, anybody with an IQ above a gerbil knows exactly why a disgusting rag like Politico would print it. They printed it because they wanted us to stop talking about that sick freak in Virginia who's talking about killing kids. They wanted us to...
I mean, I can only talk about things from my perspective. So, like, as a person that's in the movie, video game nerd, world on the YouTube side of things, and, Geeks and Gamers, Friday Night Tights, all of my friends and everything, like, I used to watch the guys from Collider and AMC, because that was kind of the guys that were the space of the movies and entertainment world before this, world that we're in now. It was the Collider AMC guys. And I guarantee you, any of us, me, Ryan, Gary, any of us on FNT, as whatever, we would all have been canceled immediately if we worked for Collider and said anything that we say every Friday night. The first time we said that on a Collider show, we would have been canceled and excommunicated from that sphere immediately, because that's how that sphere worked. 1,000% would have been kicked out of it, blacklisted, whatever. And I'm aware of the fact that now I'm in a world of people that will not cancel me because I said something that someone else found offensive. And that's the attitude you have to have. Like, you just have to let these people know we don't care. We do not care if you're offended. It doesn't mean you can't be offended. It means we don't care if you're offended. The only thing I am worried about is anything that bothers me, which is very little. But I can't pretend to care about your feelings. If you are upset about something, go cry about it. Don't bring it to me because I don't care. That's my stance on everything. People that work for me, if they offend you, I don't fucking care. Somebody in here, like last week, came in here crying about Smash JT or something. Go fucking cry about him to him. I don't give a shit. I know Smash. I like Smash. He's fine. Whatever. Like, you're going to come in my chat and be like, hey, Jeremy. No, I didn't. And I don't care that you're offended over it. Don't bring me your feelings because I don't care about your feelings. Doesn't matter to me. Go fucking cry to somebody else. And Harley Dave says it wasn't me. I didn't, because I haven't seen him live since, but I do owe Smash $100 super chat for that person, so I will give it to him. But yeah, so, and I meant that too. I absolutely will, specifically for that person, because in my mind, I just want to make that one person mad. Because you decided to come into my chat and try to make me comment on a YouTuber that upset you because of an opinion they had. So therefore, I have to go send that person money now to piss you individually off. I don't care if it's a good business decision. I don't care if it's stupid. I find satisfaction knowing I'm going to piss that one person off. And that's enough for me. So, let's continue.
Talk about anything else. They wanted us to change the news cycle, and we can't just be people who chase a headline, chase the spotlight, chase the newest, freshest story. We have to think beyond that and realize we are dealing with an enemy, and that sucks that you have to deal with an enemy. I wish you didn't have to. I wish I didn't have to. I don't want to have enemies here. That's not who I am. I don't want to. I want to eat Red Lobster. That's what I want to do. I want to enjoy and I want to eat Red Lobster. But that's not the life we've been given. We have enemies here. We have to acknowledge their enemies and act as if they're enemies. I do not now. I never have. I never will. I do not take part in communist operations. I don't care what they are. It doesn't matter whether it involves my friends, my enemy. When there is a communist operation, I recognize it for what it is, and I just ignore it and move on.
So wise. And here's a tip. I think people on the right are decent, and they want to express their decency, and so they feel like an obligation. I'm a decent person. I'm against these texts. I would never text like this, so I feel like it doesn't matter how many times you prove your decency to these people. They will always dismiss you as indecent. They will attack you as racist, as misogynist, as bigoted. They'll use every term in the book. They don't really think Donald Trump is Hitler. Not at all. They don't think J.D. Vance is Hitler. They're using those terms to silence their enemies. It's a leftist tactic. And no matter how good you are, you could be Jesus Christ incarnate. They will call you all the names and never acknowledge your decency. So why bother?
Buy gold and get free silver. That's right, for every $5,000.
I'm actually on, let's see. I'm actually going to send JT's live now. So I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. So I'm about to drop this right now. And it's just to piss off that one guy. This is for him. Okay. So right here, I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. So some loser was crying in my chat earlier this week. Some loser was crying about you in my chat earlier this week. This is for him. Okay, so here's the super chat right here. All right. So there we have it. Okay, boom. Let's see what he says.
You don't solely focus on positive things in the game industry, and because of that, that's a problem. Fuck out of here, bro. We got Vilken. We got holy shit. Jeremy is in the house. D-Day Cobra. Holy shit. Bro. Let me skip ahead here. I gotta read this. I was a busy man. I don't know how long you can stay for, but D-Day Cobra with the $100 Red Boy Mega Banger, who says, some loser was crying about you in my chat earlier this week. This is for him. Let's fucking go. Fucking legend, Jeremy. Holy shit. That's amazing.
Yeah, so there you go. So just don't come in my chat crying about some fucking YouTuber that you don't like.
Donate
Fuck
money
you.
to people they don't like.
Individually,
And they're
for
always
you. This is for
talking
that
about it,
guy.
and they're always pocket watching. And the segment on David Jaffe is gonna go into that. But holy shit, bro. that is legendary. Shout out to you, man. Shout out.
All right, so for that person in particular, fuck that person. Whoever you are, wherever you are, fuck you. Okay? Dumb son of a bitch coming in my chat. Hey, Jeremy, Smash JT has an opinion that I don't like. I don't fucking care. Go fuck yourself. CG says this is further proof Trump broke them, making him into something he's not. If he truly was this authoritarian, explain why they are still on the air. Exactly. Phil says, Harley Dave, first time super chat and tax. Harley Dave, first time super chat and tax. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Linko Kenobi says, what's up, Jeremy? Just finished my Epic Universe stream. I got 3 more subs. Appreciate loving one of my shorts. Well, going home tomorrow. Pleasure being back in Orlando. Good night, everyone. Hail to you, Linko Kenobi. Have a safe trip back home, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you indeed. Harley Dave for a MAGA red $100. Says never underestimate the power of the 199. Never underestimate it. Never underestimate the ability for Drunk 3PO to sell merchandise.
Geeks and Gamers fans, this one's for you. Rep your fandom with our brand new merch drop featuring limited edition shirts and an all-new hat that's built for true IDOTs. These won't last long, so grab yours now at ripasend.com before they're gone. Hail the 199.
Drunk 3PO, the master salesman. Thank you, Harley Dave. I saw Keenan says that Linko was on the Park Hopping stream. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Zwani for 20 says keeping CobraCast an unoffended free zone tax. Hail Unit 199. Let's freaking go. Thank you. Yeah, I got to do a better job. We got to be moving more merch over there. I wasn't happy with the merch numbers when Ripa's team told me how many we sold. I'm like, that's not G&G level numbers, guys. We got to sell some more stuff. All right. Ripperson wants to be impressed. We got to sell some more shit. Okay. But thank you, Harley Dave. Appreciate it. MAGA Mike says, if Karens hadn't tried to take power during COVID against me and my career, I'd still be a libtard. I'm almost thankful for them. It led me to Trump and all of you. I know some of y'all went through this shit. Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of people went through that. Listen, man, we all have our journey. We all have our journey as to how we got here and what led us to this place. I mean, like for me, it's kind of like, you know, when I started calling out The Last Jedi and Disney Star Wars and identity politics, I clearly, like, these were opinions that I already had, but I didn't know how comfortable I was putting them out there on the internet and being labeled, you know, a racist and a sexist. And this is like 2016, 2017 timeline. You know what I mean? So it was like, I mean, now if you call me a racist and a sexist, I'm like, yeah. Anything else? You know? So, yeah, no big deal. So, but back then it was kind of like, okay, like, should I, you know, start calling this stuff out? Because I don't want to, you know, have my name attached to all of this stuff. But they just kept pouncing and they kept making it worse and worse and worse and worse. And finally it got to the point where, like, I don't care what you think. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So, you know, it is what it is. So I hear you on that one, brother. I hear you on that one. Dark Source Rising says there's a reason Trump is only the second president ever to have non-consecutive terms. It's true. It's true. Let me see. Cool Breeze. Has your audience seen Alex Jones as Cobra Commander? Long time first time super chatter. I haven't seen that Oscar performance broadcast to your audience yet. Brand appropriate. I've shown that a long time ago. It's fantastic, actually. Alex Jones as Cobra Commander. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Let me see if I can find it. Alex Jones, Cobra Commander. Let's see if I can find it. I mean, Alex Jones is just fantastic. So, is this it right here? Everything's been. Hang on. I'm looking for it now. That's a 10-minute clip.
Welcome back to InfoWars Nightly News. We're now joined by humanitarian and overall trendy Cobra Commander. He is an international terrorist, a dictator over third world countries. He's involved in bioweapons, weapon sales. And now in the modern America and modern world where torture, secret arrest, TSA, groping your children's genitals is what the good guys do, I thought we'd have him on. I know the media reaches out to Cobra Commander or Cobra leader quite often, and he refuses to come on. But he has agreed to do this interview because he has a big announcement tonight to make to the people that live in this 1984 society. And again, if you're not with the Cobra leader or Mr. Cobra, then you're not a modern trendy. So I want to thank him for joining us this evening. Mr. Cobra and associate, I guess minion, kind of like North Korea, thank you for joining us, Mr. Cobra leader.
You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra? I am Supreme Cobra Commander. You call your petty bureaucrats, officials, and authorities. You will kneel before Cobra or face my wrath. You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra?
Your Supreme Excellency, Your Graciousness, Your Royal Highness, Cobra Commander. I should give you the same attention that other mass murderers get who run empires like the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. I apologize. The corporate media for a long time has wondered who you actually are. And since I got your title wrong, will you please tell us who you are, sir? Because tyranny is so trendy right now. Why not reveal yourself, your lordship?
None of your pathetic business, worm. Submit to me. Even this gentleman here to my left is a servant of Cobra. For decades, you've known him as the real Cobra Commander. Only now am I letting you pathetic people know that it is I.
That voice hurts my throat. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But there's like another one too, where he actually. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There's another one where he actually does like, hang on. Where Alex Jones actually did. They've deleted so much of Alex Jones shit. So, let me see if I can find the one clip where he's. Yeah. So YouTube has suppressed so much of his shit, so it's hard to find it.
His radio network proudly presents the Alex Jones Show.
In the scenes, I've been doing Cobra Commander imitations and Jesse Ventura imitations during the breaks, and John is asking me in IM right now to do those on air. I don't know, John. What do I get, for acting the fool? I do enjoy screwing around. I have to get in the Jesse Ventura mindset. I have to flash back to him screaming at my camera guys in a fun way, in huge arguments in the car with my spoiled colleagues who I could hardly conduct interviews driving in the car with them because they were enjoying the arguments so much, off-topic issues. But let me think of one. Hold on. You know, Alex, Navy SEALs, we don't get angry, we just get even. And we take our time. You got to sleep sometime. I'll do one later. All right, you want to hear Cobra Commander, John? you know, I should wait until I bring up the police state and how our police wear Cobra Commander uniforms. That was part of predictive programming through TV. They even drive the same black APCs, or what are they called? Hissmobiles. Yes, I watched the show too.
Hell yeah.
I didn't watch the later series, but I was like 9, 10. It first came on TV. And you've got the international terrorist, you've got the international arms dealer, Destro, and that's basically a Donald Rumsfeld in the Carlyle Group. But you want me to do the Cobra Commander, the Cobra stream? You really want it? Okay. Actually, come on there, John, and beg, and I'll do it.
Please, Jones, do it.
I really did it last week in here before the show, and people were in the other office, and they were like, is that a chainsaw in there? Everybody came running in here. But I don't want to hurt my voice actually doing this is like morning radio now. I've got to stop it. I've got to control myself and get into the news here because it's all extremely serious. And there may come a time we're not even on air if things continue down the road like they are right now. And I wish to God I hadn't screwed around. But you know what? We got to have a little fun, don't we? All right, let me do a Cobra. See, now once I'm on the spot, it's hard to do a proper Cobra Commander.
I agree. Whenever you have like this impression that you do, it's hard to do it when you're on the spot. It has to become natural, you know, like in the flow of a conversation.
You know what? I'm gonna keep everybody on the edge of their seats. Later, when it feels spontaneous, I'll do the Cobra. That's not as good as the one I did earlier. Let me try another one here. Cobra. That's not as good as the earlier one, was it? It's pretty good. People are probably going, what on earth? Cobra. There you go.
Amazing.
But he has more of like at the start. He goes, Cobra. There you go. Which one was better, John? You like that? All right. Now I can go join the SWAT team and dress like Cobra Commander, huh?
Oh,
maybe I can go work for Rumsfeld and the Carlyle Group and ship narcotics into the country and then bust kids using it, huh? How's that sound for Cobra, John?
The entire world is watching.
Freaking Alex, man. He's just so good. There was another one too, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to find that one, but he had another Cobra Commander that he did, but I can't find it right now. Looks like that one's probably been removed, which is very sad that like they've taken so much of his stuff down. What is this? Alex Jones thinks G.I. Joe and Cobra are real.
Pleasure. Well, I'm not going to give them their pleasure. I'm going to cram a gun in their mouth and see how they like it. Because I'm free. Because some of us are willing to spill our blood with a sacrifice. You hear me, scum? We're coming for you.
You will kneel before Cobra or face my wrath! You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra?
Your Supreme Excellency, Your Graciousness, Your Royal Highness, Cobra Commander. I should give you the same attention that other mass murderers get who run empires, like the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. I apologize. The corporate media for a long...
Oh, G.I. Joe, great American hero. Yo, Joe.
You don't work for Joe. Joe got taken over. The G.I. Joe command base is run by Cobra. Do you understand that?
You work for Cobra. You dress like Cobra. You have the tactics of Cobra. You are Cobra. Hail Cobra.
The White House is run by Cobra. And you better pray to God they don't get this through. Because if Cobra, the snake, the devil, the Black Pyramid gets control, it's all over for you.
I thought I was part of the team. Submit to me. Even this gentleman here to my left is a servant of Cobra. For decades, you've known him as the real Cobra Commander. Only now am I letting you pathetic people know that it is I, the true Cobra Commander, who have ruled from behind the scenes.
Oh, man. And I always like the Bill of Rights and Constitution and due process. It is so cool. You just are talking down to me. Now I know how other Americans feel. We like being slaves.
That you work for Cobra, and you don't even know it. We here at Cobra sow chaos to bring order and weapon sales. Cobra currency. Hail Cobra, because I'm keep.
He's too much, man. Alex Jones is a national treasure. He absolutely is. MAGA Mike says their new AOC replacement hero eats rice with his hands, guys. I mean, who can argue with that? Look at that. So Cool Breeze, you led us down that path. It was all because of you. Okay. It was all because of you. You led us there. The chat says, Jeremy, donation to your Cobra throne. Sadly, I'm more interested in funding a lot more stuff for geeks and gamers than like a Cobra throne. Like, we're trying to actually do a lot of stuff like down in Orlando. We got a lot cooking that we're trying to. It's going to take like a lot of money. So grifting a Cobra throne just isn't in the cards for me, because we're trying to do so much. Now, I could work a Cobra throne into the budget of what we're trying to do down there, but Laughing Man says Jeremy had to get through 2017 to get to Jeremy 2025, just like Matt Walsh had to change from 2017 to 2025. So many things have happened, been revealed from Laughing Man. It will take at least 10 million, says Harley Dave. Based on what we need, it won't take 10 million, but it will definitely take close to 1 million to accomplish what we want to accomplish. I could say 10 million and set the bar so high, but it won't take quite that much to get the foundation built for what we're trying to do. But Harley Dave says, I'm going home, Hassan, for 50. I got that one earlier. All right, we're going to go back to the top so I can start reading some of these. I'm way behind on super chats right now. Alex Arrow Cape says, Michael Myers Halloween IDOT shirt tax. Phil says, I don't know why I'm here, tax. Ladybug says, Jeremy's at Raggedy Mullet tax. Phil says, is this Downs turnaround girl? William says, Trump is coming. Chunk the Punk says, turnaround tax. Jimmy Ray says, when were you going to explain turnarounds? We did today. Where's the car chase? I think he got away. 10 is a good number. It is a good number. Agreed with that. Philip says, I suspect she can't cut hair worth a shit or TDS. DJ Fisty says, stupid at names. Yeah, the at names are really, really crappy. Sly Rice says, was the turnaround woman speaking? No, she was not. Mellow Yellow says, for the gamer word. Eric, Mod Eric says, first time super chat. YouTube will not allow a 50-cent super chat. Tay says, really? First time super chatter. Hail the 199. Harley says, behold the field in which I grow my fucks. Lay thine eyes upon it and see it is barren. That's earlier when they called you an idiot, Harley Dave. I remember and never forget. The chat says, nuts, looks like two with him are chess girls. Forest Beyond the Trees becomes a new member. Thank you. MAGA Cracker Mike says, just wanted to let y'all know Painkiller is great. It's co-op Doom that works like Warhammer 40K Dark Tide. If you need a break from Battlefield, GG. Thank you, brother. Mad Frog with a 99-cent. Chunk the Pug says, oh, wow, a police chase. Gerald Armstrong says, ever hear of a metal band called Hate Break? The band has a gay parrot as lead singer. I'm going to be honest, no. And I'm not interested after that. Not interested at all. You know what else I'm interested in? John freaking Murdoch for 50. IDOT tax, merch tax, car chase tax, foggy tax, Mrs. ABF tax, whale watcher tax, Mossad membership fee, mod lives matter, chat lives matter, happy Jessica. John freaking Murdoch in the house. Hail to you. L Wing Secret Garden says, is it me or is this guy using his blinkers? This is the car chase section right here. Maga Mike says, is there a corner working right? If there isn't a corner working riding passenger, I'm going to be disappointed in this new GTA. Mad Frog says, I live a quarter mile at a time. Family. Russell says, watch it be a 14-year-old making the cops look bad. Harley Dave says, Jeremy, how much to end this police chase? You got the chat really worked up when you did this one, Harley Dave. They were really worried for a minute. Let's see. Maga Mike says, this is definitely a Trump supporter, right? Definitely not. Brock says, enjoying the stream, trying to watch a little while driving home, but some dude is tailgating me with their bright lights. Bebop says, who the F is pursuing him? Twitch security? Lord Jr. with those 5 get the memberships. Thank you. Mad Frog says, how will this affect LeBron's legacy? These are the important questions. John freaking Murdoch says Harley Dave tax. Harley Dave tax. Now we got Harley Dave tax in the chat. Max with VT says Breets are in charge. Maga Mike says, how do auto taxis on the freeway react to this? Mod Eric says, time to watch Escape from LA. Harley Dave says, please text Gary and tell him to stop. Craig Morning says, I have inside information that Stephen A. Smith is in the car and he believes that it's Trump behind him. He's coming. Let's see. Maga Mike says, how do self-driving cabs deal with this kind of situation on the freeway? Think about that. This literally is the Matrix. Shockingly enough, we're probably heading for something like that in the very near future, too. That's crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. I don't like self-driving cars personally. I'm not a fan of that at all. That's my old school mentality, but my old school mentality is irrelevant because this kind of younger generation, that's all they're going to know. That's all they're going to know is self-driving cars and being controlled. That's a scary future to live in. That's a very, very scary future. Big Trouble Media says, what's the parlay on this? Joe Bitt says that this long chase feels like a setup for ratings. Brian Stewart says, cops waiting till last items before using lightning. The chat says, Jeremy, why just sitting here? You drive, go get him. Hey, I would. Maga Mike says, between GTA thugs, self-driving taxis, Indian truck drivers, and women, I'm never driving on the freeway again. This is why I am paranoid on the road. You have to be paranoid on the road at all times. Russell says, I live in Georgia. GSP would put him into a wall 15 minutes ago. They don't play. Harry Toe says, the car depends the race of the person. If it's a Nissan car, it's probably a black person. Maddening says, this news anchor has questions a second grader would ask, and that's offensive to second graders. L Wing Secret Garden says, this is the only scenario in which an illegal Indian truck driver might be useful. Jim L says, this car is a Prius, Jeremy. Roll Tide Roll. I think it was proven to be a Nissan. It wasn't a Maxima. It was a Sentra, right? Is that what it was? I think it was a Sentra. The chat says, where is the tumbler when you need it? Shadow Sand says, is Kaya getting the F away from Hassan? Let's see that one. Bebop says, had a Mario Kart moment, was watching the wrong screen, thought the chase was over. Ministry of Wrong Think, this guy is the real racist. Jim L says, DEI cop chase. Harley Dave's 50 gifted memberships. 2 of them. Zinny Biscuit says, I've learned that his name is Jerry and he was a race car driver. Penelope says, yeah, I like the snake pit. What is wrong with me? Nothing. You are a rare breed that likes the snake pit, and we like you. Thank you for being here. Narco says, mother effer is going to escape in the fog. Just dropped from 4 stars to 3. Suggin D's nuts for 2 says Jeremy needs those feed pics. Narco says, remember when Kobe went into the fog? Damn. Ministry of Wrong Things says, need for feed most wanted. Sith Lord Maga says, bro entered the exhaustion zone. Brian Stewart says, if he goes a bit further, I could stream it myself. Surly SOB says, Gagay, you skipped my super chat a couple of nights ago, and now I forgot what I said. So here's a few more bucks. Well, I'm sorry. I never mean to skip super chats. Maga Mike says, another 2 for Harley, eclipsing my racial jokes. Yeah. So Maga Mike was sending like $5 super chats with jokes, and then Harley Dave just drops like a 50 gifted membership and takes all the attention away. Cultural Breakdown says, I was listening to CobraCast while driving and would like to imagine the guy being chased was also listening to your coverage. Ministry of Wrong Things says, bro hit a pursuit breaker. Always go log trucks. 2 Penny Puppet says, I want to know how many refs got arrested. Ministry of Wrong Things says, the mafia is still a thing. Lamau, as if that wasn't an open secret, and they haven't had the media in their pocket since forever. The chat says, Scott Adams coined the phrase Trump derangement syndrome and many other things. You guys no idea. He's genius level and also created Dilbert. I mean, I know he's like the creator of Dilbert, and I've seen some of his stuff. I know he's big on locals and all that. So thank you for the gifted membership. Appreciate it. Udite says, have you seen Stephen Miller exposing cover-ups and DC crime stats, classifying murders as accidents and other distortions to make it seem safer? I haven't heard about that, but that's not surprising at all. If you remember going back to like COVID, and how, no matter what, if somebody died, they died from COVID, so they could just boost up the COVID numbers. So if somebody died in a car wreck, like, oh, they died from COVID. It was insane. It's absolutely insane. Pizza says, had he won 2020, we would still be stuck with his old staff who subverted him the entire time and wouldn't get Vance, who's the best shot at 2028. Agreed completely. Rob says, turnaround tax, could we get a play of damn? You know what? Just for Laughing Man, we'll do that. Laughing Man, you still here? Laughing Man likes this clip. Damn! This is what's her face? What's her damn name? The cross-eyed woman in New York. Letitia James. This is Letitia James. Damn! We go. Captain JPS says, pretend this is my first super chat. Welcome to the snake pit. Welcome to the snake pit. MAGA Mike says, average people don't care about TDS anymore. Trump has been normalized now. Their pearl clutching means nothing. People genuinely don't care. MAGA. Agreed completely. The chat says, Jeremy, please do not send Jay $100 super chat. Forest Beyond the Tree says, I may be off here, but didn't Jesse come out as a DeSantis supporter in 2024? He had very smart takes here, but he has had some takes in the past that didn't give me enthusiasm. Hey, he's a great follow. I don't know much about Jesse Kelly, but now that you bring that up, it does seem like I remember him being a DeSantis bro. I do remember that. I think you're right about that. And I didn't think about that until you brought it up. Somebody can confirm that in the chat. But I think you're right. The Shantu says, hey, Jeremy, the anniversary of Trump victory coming up. Do you think you'll do something special on that day? If not, don't worry about it. I'll just take my stupid money, IDOT. That's actually a good idea. I think we should probably do a 1-year anniversary of the day that saved, our country. So, what day of the week is that going to be on? I'll look that up. So, what's that going to be on? Was it November? Was it 5th, 4th, or 5th? What is it? Chat, is it Tuesday? Is it on? It was November 5th, right? So it's a Wednesday. Yeah, so it's a Wednesday. November 5th. Let's set it up. November 5th, Celebration Day. Yep, we're going to do it up. So let's make it happen. It's a good idea, bro. It's a good idea. Good call. Dark Schwartz Rising says, I can't believe you support that toxic nerd Gary guy. Why do you go into his weird Friday streams? I really hope you don't send him $100. I'm not going to do it because I know you guys are trolling. It's got to be somebody genuinely like calling me out. So most of the time I can catch it. I might fall for sarcasm occasionally. Let's see. Trump is your president for 10. It says just sending a JD advanced Canadian gift tariff to the Mage IDOT of the 199. Goodbye. Look at that. Thank you. Appreciate that. The chat says, Jeremy, your donation to your Cobra Throne. Oh, yeah, I got that one. Jared also says Trump is live on the White House channel audio. Really? Is he flying right now or something? Let me see. Let me look this up. The White that you probably sent that a few minutes ago. The White House. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Have a good trip. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a very long trip, right? What's up?
What are you expecting from your meeting with President Xi, and what is your message to him?
We have a lot of things to discuss, including our farmers. We have a lot of things to discuss. The various trade deals that have been made in the past, and some broken, some not broken, but we've got many, many things. I think it's going to turn out to be a very good meeting.
Do they need to make concessions to get a deal? Are you willing to pause tariffs?
Sure, they have to make concessions. I guess we would too. We're at 157% tariff for them. I don't think that's sustainable for them, and they want to get that down, and we want certain things from them. I think it'll be very good.
What do you think the odds are you go ahead? Sorry, what do you think the odds are you go ahead with that 100% tariff on November 1st?
I don't know. I have no odds. I don't want to predict odds. I don't think they would want that. That would not be good for them. And I wouldn't like to see it.
What's your view on what Canada needs to do to get things back on track?
Canada lied. I mean, what they did was terrible. They made up a fake statement by President Reagan. Reagan was a big supporter of tariffs when needed. And we need tariffs for national security. And they totally turned it around because they're getting hurt by tariffs and we're gaining by tariffs. They've used tariffs on us when we had different presidents very successfully, and they've taken a lot of money out of our country, and now we're taking it all back. And so they went out and they made a fake commercial. The Reagan Foundation went crazy when they saw it because it was, the opposite. It was the opposite of what Ronald Reagan liked tariffs, and when necessary, he would use tariffs. And it's made us a very rich country. It's also made us, when they were used against us, it was not good for us. But we've used them very successfully. We have the highest stock market we've ever had. We have great national security. I've settled wars.
Yes, this is Trump. This is on the official White House YouTube channel. This aired just a few minutes ago. So this is absolutely Trump. And this is on the official White House YouTube channel, as you see right here. Boom. There he is. There it is.
It's because of tariffs, and a president has the right to use tariffs, especially when it comes to national security. And we need it for national security, even including our own wealth and paying down debt and all of the other things. So, we're in very good shape with that. But they took a commercial saying the exact opposite, Canada. And so I'm very disappointed in Canada. They lied. I mean, it was a fraud what they did.
What can they do to get it back on track, though?
I'm satisfied with the deal we have. We have a deal right now that's very good for us, and any deal that would have been made would have been better for them than the one they have right now. That's why I was surprised they did this. They did this to try and influence the Supreme Court, and many foreign countries aren't particularly happy, but they took advantage of us for years. For years and years they took advantage, and presidents shouldn't have allowed that to happen, but they did. So, really, I don't think there's much they can do. I just assume leave it the way it is.
Will you meet with
if you leave it the way it is, it's very good for us.
Will you meet with Prime Minister Carney during this trip?
I don't have any intention of it, no.
What do you expect of your meeting with the new Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi?
I hear great things about her. I think she's going to be great. She was a great friend of Mr. Abe, who was a great man, Prime Minister Abe, and a great friend of mine, as you know, and he was just a fantastic person, and he liked her a lot. She liked him a lot. So that's a good sign. But I look forward to meeting her.
He's reportedly planning to bring plans to buy Ford F-150 pickup trucks.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. They're great trucks. Are you saying I have that plan or she has that plan?
She has that plan.
That's great. She has good taste. That's a hot truck.
She might eventually try to renegotiate the more than.
She might. Look, I'm open to whatever we have a great relationship with Japan, and we're going to have a fantastic relationship with her. So we'll see what happens.
Do you believe that China played a role at all in establishing peace between Cambodia and Thailand in their recent conflict? Did China help in that process?
Well, they weren't involved. No, they weren't involved.
Will you still preside over this?
Malaysia was involved, actually. So Malaysia helped us. One of the reasons I'm going to Malaysia is they were very much involved.
I don't know if Trump is going to address we may start hearing some reaction to this tomorrow, but we're getting some leaks of Trump actually has even more plans for remodeling the White House. And when the press hears about this, they're going to be very upset. But we have some aerial photos of what it's more than likely going to look like. So here you have it right here. The press is going to find out about this. They're going to be very, very upset. But these are some of the plans for the White House and the renovations. I think it looks good. I think this works. I'm pretty happy about this. So I fully, support this idea. Really, really looking forward to President Trump's remodeling. Oh man, good stuff indeed. You love to see it.
Involved in that, the whole thing, Thailand and all. And I told the leader of Malaysia, who's a very good man, I said, I think I owe you a trip. And that's why we're stopping in Malaysia for that reason. Malaysia was very much involved.
Sir, while in South Korea, do you have any plans to meet with Kim Jong-un at the DMZ?
Well, I would if he would contact. I mean, I was, the last time I met, I put it out over the internet that I'm coming to South Korea. If he'd like to meet, I'm open to it, certainly. We had a very, yeah, I'd do it. I mean, if you want to put out the word, I'm open to it. They don't have a lot of telephone service. They have a lot of nuclear weapons, but not a lot of telephone service. So I'm open to it. I had a great relationship with him, and he probably knows I'm coming, right? But you want to put out the word, I'm open to it.
Do you expect to touch it all before this trip?
Really, there's not a lot of ways other than the internet. They have very little telephonic service, and but he knows I'm coming, and
Did Trump just say telephonic service? Telephonic service.
Not a lot of ways other than the internet. They have very little telephonic service, and but he knows I'm coming, and he would. Yeah, I'd be open to it 100%. I got along very well with Kim Jong-un.
Do you expect to finalize your trade deal with, or your tariff deal with South Korea on this trip? It hasn't been signed
Well,
yet.
it's pretty close to being finalized, I think, and so it could be. If they have it ready, I'm ready.
Malaysia and Cambodia, those trade deals, are you ready?
Yeah, sure. If the papers are ready, we have deals with a lot of people, and they're very good deals. I hope they're very good for everybody.
Do you know if the signing ceremony?
Who you with?
I'm with Politico.
Uh-oh.
Politico.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Do you know if the signing ceremony
Stepping up their game, that's good.
going forward? There's a report just as we were leaving.
Which one?
That the Thailand Prime Minister may not attend due to a death in Thailand.
Well, there was a change. Yeah, there was a death. So I don't know. I really
don't know this?
No, I don't know that.
Managed to find somebody to pay for our troops during the shutdown.
He's a great gentleman. He's a great patriot. He's obviously a very substantial man. And he contributed $130 million toward the military in order to make up any difference. So he wanted to see the military get paid. So did I. And he's a wonderful man, and he doesn't want publicity. He doesn't, he'd prefer, I think, that his name not be mentioned, which is pretty unusual in the world I come from. And in the world of politics, you want your name mentioned. He doesn't. He's a great patriot. He really is. He put up in order to make sure that's a lot of money, in order to make sure that the military got paid. And he's a big supporter of mine.
Is it an American citizen?
It is, yeah. great American citizen.
I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to brag, okay? But I just want to show everybody that you can get, like, I have 104,000 followers on Twitter, okay? And I just want to show you how much you can make on Twitter with 100,000 followers. You guys ready for this? Boom. $82.46 on my Twitter account. Back the fuck up off me, okay? 100,000 followers, $82. That's what's up right there. You can't compete. You can't compete with that. I'm buying the Cobra throne now.
Congress to pass a bill to allow 42 million Americans to continue to get food stamps during the shutdown?
I'm going to let some other people talk here. I'll have a comment on that later, but the Democrats are stopping it. All they have to do is agree to let's go, and we're ready, and we voted for it.
That was you paying the military, isn't it?
Many times. All we need is 5 Democrats. The Republicans vote for it, but
buy a haircut.
We'll see what happens. But really, this is purely Democrat. They're doing some really bad things. I think they're lost souls. You know that is they are lost souls.
After this trip, do you think you'll sit down with Hakeem Jeffries and?
I would. I'd be willing to.
You essentially received a Raiders super chat.
I said,
"That's
come
what's
on
up,
over,
Mo."
Just put the government back. All they have to do is say yes, and it's over, and we start.
Oh, we lost the caption.
And then we go into a negotiation. Look, Obamacare has been terrible. We can make it better. I'm all for that. But they're not, and they want to allow many illegal people that came into our country illegally from prisons, from mental institutions, from all over the world. They want them to get paid, and that's going to hurt the citizens of our country, and I just can't do it.
What influence do you want China to exert on Russia to stop?
I'd love China to help us out with Russia. We put very big sanctions on Russia. I think those sanctions are going to be, they're very biting, they're very strong. But I'd like to see China help us out. I have a good relationship with, as you know, President Xi. Very good. We're going to be meeting. We'll have a good meeting. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a great meeting, maybe a great meeting. But I think we're going to do some good business. One of the things we'll talk about is the Russia-Ukraine. They're killing 7,000 people a week, soldiers, mostly soldiers, and we'll certainly be talking about that. He'd like to see that end too.
And do you worry that the sanctions are so biting that you might push Putin too far?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. He's saying, well, they won't have that much of an effect. So I don't know. Yeah, that's what he says. I don't think he's right about that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think he'd like to see it over with.
Earlier this week, you said that you don't think that China would make any moves on.
I will say, I mean, like, I'm not going to pretend to understand the ins and outs of the situation with Trump and Putin, but it's like, I mean, I'm wondering why Trump is playing, like, he's playing this very, very, like, interesting with Vladimir Putin. Like, I can't believe that we're still dealing with this. I mean, Trump said he was going to end this on day one. I understand that's a lot more difficult, but it's clear that Vladimir Putin's playing fucking games at this point in time. It's pretty clear. And I'm just wondering, when is Trump going to be fed up with his bullshit?
On Taiwan, what gives you that idea?
China would what?
Would make any moves on Taiwan? What makes you think that?
I hope they won't. We'll have to see. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I hope they won't. I think it would be very dangerous for them to do.
Are you open to changing U.S. policy on Taiwan?
Well, I don't want to talk about that now. I don't want to create any complexity. The trip is already complex enough, right? But I think China wants to have 10 great years, and they can. They can, or they can have some bad years, and they don't want that. And we're going to have a very good meeting.
If you don't get it, what will you do for U.S. farmers who are being impacted by this?
We're going to subsidize them, and we'll give them some money because it's not their fault.
They've been doing very well. They did very well under me. Even if you look at the ranchers for the first time in years have made some money, but the beef prices are up a little bit, so we'll have to make a determination. But the ranchers are very happy because, for many years they suffered. Now they're making a little money. They're making some money, and that's a good thing. I'm happy about that. So we'll see, but we'll see. Beyond that point, we'll see.
You are correct, Gerald. That is
They say that in order to have talks with the U.S., they have to be recognized as a nuclear power. Is that something you're open to?
Well, I think they are sort of a nuclear power. I mean, I know how many weapons they have. I know everything about them. And I've had a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un. When you say they have to be recognized as a nuclear power, well, they got a lot of nuclear weapons, I'll say that. Okay, go ahead, Liz.
What kind of land targets in Venezuela do you want to strike? And how do you decide which ones to strike?
See with Venezuela, I can tell you one thing. We stopped all drugs virtually from coming in by sea. And we'll stop all drugs from coming in by land very shortly. You'll see that starting. They're not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to do that. But you're going to see drugs stopping coming into our country, just like we stopped prisoners and drug dealers, drug addicts, we have stopped virtually everybody from coming in, other than people that want to come in legally. We have a lot of people coming in legally, passing tests, going through the process, but we don't have people coming in from prisons and from mental institutions and the drug dealers. We don't have them coming in. We have almost nobody. We really have nobody. If you know, for 5 months in a row, they had 0 people come in, and we used to have 1 million and 2 million and 3 million people coming in.
With Brazil's president on this trip, he's going to the
I believe we're meeting, yeah. We met at the United Nations briefly just before I went on, and there was no teleprompter. They didn't allow my teleprompter to work. How about that one? But I gave a good speech anyway. Have a good trip, everybody.
Are you open to reducing the tariffs on Brazil?
Yeah, under the right circumstances, sure.
Talk about AI with President Xi.
Well, we're leading AI. We're leading China in AI. We're leading everybody in AI. We're doing very well. We have plants being built all over the country. We're going to have maybe $21 trillion by the time my first year's up. Nobody's ever had numbers. We've already hit $17 trillion. No country has ever hit numbers like that. That's investment into our country. We have auto factories open. You saw General Motors yesterday and Ford. They took a big leap forward because of tariffs, but they took a big leap. They went way up. We're respected again, is really respected.
We have the best AI, beautiful AI.
With the tariffs. The tariffs are giving us national security and strength. Thank you very much.
We have the best AI, beautiful AI. No one's ever seen AI like what we have. Right here, Ed says, "Are you nuts? Russia has had the same stance for years. Trump is the one changing his mind every 15 minutes, largely because of the people around him." Well, first of all, I take offense to that. I prefer retarded. So yes, I am retarded. Secondly, I don't really know what you mean by Trump's stance has always been he doesn't want war. Now, if you want to get into the details of it, I guess you can, but like the bottom line is Trump wants the war to end, which has been a consistent message from even before he was elected. That's been his consistent message. I want the war to end. I want people to stop dying. That is, he has never wavered from that position. Now, if you want to get into some other specifics that maybe has changed, I guess we can have that discussion, but his premise has been, I want the war to end. I want people to stop dying. That has been his goal all along. So I don't really know what the issue is with like you saying he's changing his stance, because I don't really know if I've seen any evidence to that. Okay, Kentucky Tim, thank you for the 50. Says hail to 199 and Harley Dave. Damn, respect. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see here. Marsh, what's up, Marsh? How you doing, Jeremy? Haven't been watching your streams lately since the ICE protest in June and Charlie Kirk assassination. Busy due to university. What are your thoughts on Battlefield 6? Personally, I'm enjoying it. Hail the 199. Well, what's up? Good to see you, brother. So I played the beta and I loved it. I own the game now. I played it a little bit. I haven't gotten into it enough to give you a full opinion on it, mainly the multiplayer. But when I get time, I will. Just with the traveling that I did all earlier this month, I just been catching up. And like I said, so like right now, I basically like, I am in extreme pain right now. And I've been in extreme pain like since yesterday because I had to go to the dermatologist. And I basically had two spots that are in my back. I have two spots that are like maybe the size of, I don't know, not quite, a little bit bigger than a quarter, that were chunks taken out of my back, and it's just, you could see blood. It's awful, and it is fucking painful. So that's why I'm not doing a gaming stream tonight, because I really don't feel like it. When I woke up this morning, I had blood on my bed from my back. It's awful. These were spots removed that the dermatologist considered concerning because I've had melanoma before. So he wasn't like overly concerned, but yes, it was a biopsy. Yes. So I've just had a lot of shit going on. So I'm not overly worried about it, but you know, there's always that thing in the back of your head. So we'll see what happens. But he didn't seem too worried about it. So we'll see. Prince Eclipse for 20 says, man, this sucks. My mama works for the feds. I'm never going to be able to make her see reason. All she sees is Orange Man bad and Dims do no wrong. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But sometimes you just listen. Growing up, I never talked about politics or religion with my family. Most of my family agreed with me anyway, but like there was always a couple of people in the family where I'm like, we knew, like, don't bring up politics around this family member because you know where it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I totally understand that completely. For the context of it though, so 10 years ago, I had a spot that was melanoma. It was on my shoulder. They took a piece of it out. They sent it off. It came back as positive for melanoma. The doctor that called me to tell me that it was melanoma had the worst bedside manner I have ever experienced in my life. It was a foreign doctor, and she calls me, and all she does is apologize, telling me, I'm so sorry to tell you this. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what do you mean you're sorry? You're sorry about what? What are you sorry about? You know, and she's like, I'm so sorry, but this is tested positive for melanoma cancer. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, you say the C word, and it's like, so like I'm freaking out. I had to go get more taken out and had, you know, a deeper biopsy. And so for that 2 weeks, I was like a mess. I was an absolute mess. I was scared to death. Thought I was going to die. It was the worst experience of my fucking life. Yeah, I got the results back like 2 weeks later. Doctor called. I cried my eyes out when they told me I was fine. I cried like a fucking baby. The spots that he found yesterday were just like moles on my back that he said do not overly concern him, but they needed to be gone. So it wasn't like he thought that this was anywhere near what I dealt with 10 years ago, but it's still in the back of my head that like, I want these motherfuckers, like I want to know now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, my back is like, I'm in pain. It fucking sucks. John freaking Murdoch says, Harley Dave tax. Hail to you, brother. Harley Dave, my tax. Good Lord. Now we got lurker tax from Red Dunn. Hello, Jeremy. Hello to the best chat ever. Trump is your president. First was Jeremy. Now we have Haremy. Make mullets gay again. The fuck are we talking about? The fuck are we talking about? Now we're talking about making mullets gay. Was Gary in the chat? Is he calling me gay? He's still mad at me for the James Gunn comment. I kind of understand that too. I do understand that. I didn't say it though. It was somebody in the chat. You can't blame me. It was the chat's fault, Gary. I didn't fucking make it up. I just stole it from the chat like I do most of this shit that I say on stream. Z Bruh for $24 says today, Jeremy, today is my 24th birthday, and all I ask is you give me JD Advanced. JD Advanced. Timu Doctors no good, Jeremy. You know what? It's your birthday. We'll give you JD Advanced.
Yo, it's JD Advanced. Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advanced. Me fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, exec or the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. Vibes, with this one majesty.
Videos like that are going to win him the presidency in 2028. They just are. Devin says, when the IDOT comic run, when's the IDOT comic run starting? Just kidding. Anyway, keep up the excellent quality trash content. That's what I'm talking about. Quality trash content. I appreciate it, man. Ministry of Wrong Things says, bro, you got to use this audio clip for CobraCast. Which one? I don't even know which ones you're talking about now. Lord of the Fry says, I'm trying to remember which stream it was about the Smash complaint you mentioned. Was it about his tweet attacking Jesus? I don't know exactly. It wasn't a super chat, but somebody was like crying about something Smash JT said or something. I'm like, why the fuck are you coming to my chat complaining about Smash JT? No, it was a super chat. Yeah, it was. It was super chat. That's right. So somebody sent a super chat like, hey, Jeremy, because I guess what led to it was because Smash JT had Marvin on, who's our managing editor for geeksandgamers.com. He's from That Park Place. This is with the That Park Place Geeks and Gamers announcement. Smash JT did an interview with Marvin. And so I guess people were like, I can't believe you're allowing Smash JT to interview someone from your website. I'm like, the fuck out of here. Like, so it was, chat will remember. I don't remember which one it was, but chat will remember. It was like last week or earlier this week or something like that. Thomas says, not enough funny President Trump this show. Can you show Kai Trump golfing timestamps from my super chat yesterday? Dude, that's like 5 timestamps, bro. I can't go through like those 5 timestamps. That's a lot. So I'll see if we can look at those another time. But like I can't go through like 5 different timestamps of like a multi-hour stream. Is it Beamer? Says, this is my version of a proper 199. I'm a peasant. Fantastic Knox says, I get nervous whenever I drive a truck. Seeing that recent accident makes that feeling even worse. Doubt Newscomb will answer why he's handing CDLs. Yep. Ministry of Wrong Things says, Ministry of Wrong Think was talking mad shit on you. JW becomes a new member. Thank you. Phil says, hey, bro, Kiwi Phil here. I'm currently traveling in Malaysia. Was hoping to get a glimpse of President Trump. I don't fancy my chances. Well, good luck. Let us know. Let us know. And be safe, bro. Prince Eclipse, new member, thank you. Sullivan says, all this Trump coming talk, Stephen A. is going to lose it. Ed for 20 says, saying peace, then threatening tomahawks, increasing sanctions, constantly meeting with Zelensky don't align. You do realize that the U.S. military is running the Ukraine army out of Germany, don't you? Okay, well, first of all, you seem to be very, very upset by Trump being the master negotiator. Trump knows how to negotiate better than any human being on the planet, okay? So if you're upset that Donald Trump is threatening with tomahawks, then I don't know what to tell you. That's beta mentality to cry increasing sanctions. He's negotiating, bro. So again, man, like you seem to have a very, very weak kind of mentality, and you're very offended that President Trump is negotiating like an alpha does. So I don't know what to tell you. But let's see here. Prince Eclipse gifted 10 memberships. Thank you. 10 gifted memberships. Heads up, Jeremy, YouTube's having an outage at the moment. Really? But I do appreciate Super Chat, Ed, but we just disagree. Like, you're upset about Trump's negotiation skills and all of that. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but we just disagree, and that's fine. But, you know, Trump wants the war to end. That's what he wants. So, Brian Stewart says top 5 men of Geeks and Gamers. 5 Jeremy, 4 WW Pro, 3 Savvy, 2 Jonas, 1 Jay. Top 5 Savvy. Top 5 women of Geeks and Gamers. 5 Savvy, 4 Steph, 3 Lady Ripa, 2 Krista, 1 Dan Vass. Discuss. That's a hell of a list, brother. That's a hell of a list. So, yeah, chat, why don't you go right ahead and discuss that one? Go right ahead. Have fun with that one. I'll let the chat have fun. John Jones says, Trump is doing so much with the government shutdown, which is a definite proof that the government is useless. 1,000%. Jared Armstrong says, we'll see what happens is Trump's phrase of the second term. Narco says, Putin wrote a book on how he plays chess with the West. Trump is the first one to play back with him. This is now poker, and Trump is calling his bluff. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, that's Jeremy's origin story as to why he doesn't like people with a lot of melanin. Cheeky Songbird says, sent DM, Timu Idot is on Masked Singer. This you? Really? I don't watch The Masked Singer, so I'll have to take your word for it. Rankin says, hail Rumble chat. Steven Strange says, got that one. Steven Strange says, the KTLA feed is a working speedometer. Yeah, that was earlier. Mod Eric says, we have been using our troops to get rid of cartels and other people around the world for untold years. Are these people stupid to think this has not always happened? It's because Trump's doing it, dude. As simple as that. So we're at the 3-hour mark. Let's freaking go. All right. So 3-hour CobraCast in the books. We're going to end it. Kate, are you still here? Kate, before the stream started, Kate dropped a $50 super chat because she wanted to end with Sabaton. Kate, your wish is my command. So again, really quick, before we end, make sure you go to geeksandgamers.com. Check out some merch. I need to sell some merch. Jay is our master salesman. You have to buy merch because Jay is selling it now.
Geeks and Gamers fans, this one's for you. Rep your fandom with our brand new merch drop featuring limited edition shirts and an all-new hat that's built for true eye dots. These won't last long, so grab yours now at ripasend.com before they're gone. Hail the 199.
There we go. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.